Select W, Sarnia traffic, over.
Hey, Corey, how's it going?
Roger, I'll be just confirming that you are finished conducting your fire drills, over. Roger, all good. Have a good evening. Sarnia traffic is. Lion Galaxy, Sarnia traffic, go ahead.
It's an absolute shock.
Roger, Sarnia traffic.
It answers that question. Right. And I need to resource some time. I don't need the answer to that as well. Secretary, thanks again for running over and joining us here at the event today. We appreciate it. We appreciate you for being with us. When we get to the heart of that, from the heart of the mayor. Now it is time.
Okay, Dominic. Here comes Dominic.
Howdy.
Good. How's my friend doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good. Well, that's a positive sign. You know, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
said I'm not all right, then I'd worry about you, you know?
Yeah. I don't know what's right from wrong then.
Jim, how you doing? Jim's there.
Yes. Hello, Jim. Hello, Josh.
Jim, Josh Giggles, yep.
Yeah, did I?
And Corey Manos said
I
hello.
was just gonna say I saw Corey, but I couldn't. It's too early in the morning. Hello, Corey. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, what's going on? Comes Captain Joe. Wonder if he flew his plane today.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you do?
Do what?
Did you fly your new drone?
I'm flying it. I'm flying tomorrow.
Oh. I couldn't imagine you sitting with that drone and not flying it. Yeah.
My precious.
Hey, Randy.
Smells like a new drone. I'm not. She called me right when we were getting off and said that it'll go on the policy effective today. Still waiting to find out if I'm filing that claim. I guess it's technical enough that they're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I still think it's not that technical. Based on, I asked my daughter. I didn't want to ask my daughter that. She says, "How much you going to get back?" I said, "I'm not telling you because it's going to pay my bills." Because she used to work insurance. She goes, "Yeah, if it's a different number coming back, yeah, you should be able to file because it's damaged and gone. You insured that." I said, yeah, I know. I got 30 days to tell them when it happened, and it's only 21, so I got plenty of time.
Oh, okay.
You know, technically you got 30 days to let them know about the accident. You could probably get away with it later, but like I said, I got in my cart, they have a Air 3S with 1 year's care refresh at DJI ready to go.
How much
And
is
said
that?
I could all together with tax 1,800,
Ah,
and that's the regular price. The only thing it doesn't have, because Johnny called and I was asking him, it doesn't come with the bag now. For some reason they don't have the bag, so they got
well,
they got the
you
drone,
don't
they
care.
don't have the
You
bag.
don't care about the bag.
No, Johnny said, I got a case for you in the attic, brand new.
There you go.
He's got an extra Air 3S case from Start RC. So I got a case. It's good to have a friend in high places.
Uh-huh.
Those people that have drone stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. We're gonna go flying tomorrow about 9:30.
Where are you going to your regular place?
Just over to the park down here, Fairview Park.
Yeah.
It's right off the river. That's where I had the other one lose connection and have to fly back.
Mhm.
But I was not putting it up in the air until I got it on the insurance policy. Because I didn't tell you too, a little while later, DJI called wanting to know if I received my product and if everything was right with it and everything. And I said, I received it, activated it, registered, did everything I needed to do. I said, I have not flown it. I said, but the one disappointment that I have is as I activated it, it did not offer me care refresh. And she goes, it didn't? I said, no. I said, because I said, that tells me you don't even know. She goes, she goes, I don't understand. Like that. I said, you don't. I said, when I went on the site looking for care refresh, they say that they no longer have care refresh for the Mavic 3 original because they don't have the drone anymore, technically. Technically, they're not even supporting that one.
Mm.
You know, so
Wow.
it's like,
Here comes TJ.
I guess people that have them, they have replacements for. But you see, in that case, and I told her, I said, in that case, I don't see why you didn't upgrade it
Mm.
like that. And
Yeah.
she says, well, let me notate all of this thing and I'll get back with you. She said, I'll pass this on. Hey, man, you never know. They may say, keep that one. We're going to send you a Mavic Pro.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Another drone to add to the collection.
So that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I told her,
think so.
she says, I'll give you a call. She says, let me pass this back on with the team. She goes, hold on. She got on care refresh. Their team and came back and said, yes, they don't offer it with the Mavic original anymore.
Oh,
I said,
Was
right.
this the lady that you were talking to from DJI or something?
This was DJI this afternoon. Because they sent me
Lady he's been dealing with all along.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a different one. This is a completely
Hi,
different one.
Brenda.
But this is a brand new drone, but they won't let me put care refresh on it because they no longer cover that one anymore.
Josh, I got to get warmed up first. I'm trying to get warmed up.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah. So Dominic,
Here we
most
go.
of the time, if a company has something like that,
There we go.
if they no longer support,
That's pretty
they'll
good.
upgrade it. That's what doesn't make sense.
There
That's
we
what I told them.
Yeah, I know.
I know people that have had
That's
Nikon
funny.
cameras that were
That's
discontinued,
funny.
that they sent in for repair and they sent them the next model up back.
That's funny.
They said, we can't repair it. We're just going to replace it with a newer model for you.
Yeah.
With all that hair gone, TJ, are you feeling a little lightheaded? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's funny.
You look like you could put some soap in there and wash your dishes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Or spin around in the toilet and clean the toilet out, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's something you would do, Paul. You know, Paul might have been talking from experience.
That's funny. So Dominic, what's on your schedule this morning?
Well, it's a Friday, so as little as possible. I'll just get through the essentials.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look at this guy. He's drinking water from a mason jar.
Yeah.
That's
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 pretty awesome.
moonshine.
Yeah, that's
It's
what it
moonshine.
is.
It's moonshine, yeah.
That's Australian moonshine.
Yeah.
Moonshine. Oh, that's funny. I think we can get some angry storms here in a little bit.
How do you know if they're angry or not?
Well, I mean,
You'll hear.
according to the weather app, it said, what did it say?
Did they use that word, angry storms? You headed your way?
Well, it said heavy rain, so
You're not
it
exactly
gonna be
gonna
more
have
than
a
3 or
happy
4
storm,
inches?
are you?
Is it gonna be more than 3 or 4 inches, TJ?
You said what?
Are they expecting more than 3 or 4 inches rain?
I don't know.
If they're not, it's not heavy rains.
Mm.
That's normal rain
Well,
for us.
Well, it just said,
No, it's gonna be happy rain.
very happy rain. Well, no, it said heavy rain starting within 15 minutes.
Okay, so we'll time it exactly. So in 15 minutes time, if it doesn't start raining, I think you should contact them.
Yeah, probably. Like, hey, you said it was gonna rain in 15 minutes. Where is it?
Yeah.
You just have your neighbor step out and shoot the water in the air for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, white lightning, white lightning.
well, I'll tell you what, I bought some one time coming back from North Carolina. I stopped and it was one of the truck stops had moonshine. And I bought a mason jar of it and brought it home. I said, oh, my cousin gonna want to try this. And because we always used to drink together. Went over to his house, we were getting ready to play ping pong. We took a glass of it, drank that. We just sat down, we didn't play ping pong.
Joe, have you ever had
Yep.
apple? Have you had apple pie moonshine before?
No, I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, you need to try that. That is awesome stuff right there.
Yeah, I was supposed to run over to Total Wine today and buy me a bottle of
Hey,
that
Brenda.
Bird's Dog peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, there you go.
okay.
That's good
But
too.
they got it here for like $2 cheaper than what Mudball can get it.
Dude, I love
Okay.
Total Wine, but they're expensive though.
It's $17.99 for the
I
bottle.
mean, I got a couple of coupons for Total Wine, so we could probably use them.
Dude, I got those two $50 gift cards at that steakhouse. I need to start using those.
Oh, there you go.
Viking Polaris is in the St. Clair River headed my way.
Hey.
How many ships did you get today, Paul?
2
You got 2?
back to back.
There you go.
I'm going to plan on getting the Viking cruise ship that's on its way.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go. I always see commercials for that ship, the Viking.
Oh, there's lots of different Vikings. There's the Polaris. There's the Octavius. Octanus.
That's crazy that they don't allow any children on that cruise.
Good idea.
Why would you want to take children on that cruise?
Exactly. Why would you want children on there?
I mean, like on majority of cruises I've been on, there's been kids running around.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I don't go cruising.
There's too many kids.
I'm not
I
sorry.
mean, like
about
I was watching the commercial for one. I was like, man, that seems like a pretty boring ship to me. I don't know. there's really not much to do on a Viking cruise. I don't know.
Well, that's the point. Most people use it as a vacation. They're not looking at it like it's like going to Disney World. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a vacation, trust me.
TJ wants to go to Disneyland.
Hey.
He wants to lay in that tube and with the water and shoot down.
But you'd be closer to Disney World.
Yeah.
Disney World would be just around the corner for
Yeah.
you, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
TJ?
it's in Orlando, not a far drive.
Yeah. Well, Orlando's
Well, how many
closer,
times you been there?
closer than LA.
Dude, more times than I can remember. Like I went when I was little.
How many times in the last 5 years?
Probably like 4 or 5, I think.
Well,
To Disney World?
TJ's a real party guy.
Probably like 3. I've been myself. Me, myself, and I went there.
You didn't
take your wife?
You didn't take the wife? Oh man,
You're getting your chops busted here.
you're gonna
so-
get.
You're about to get your eye busted.
Oh gosh.
You know how when you get a call, it says spam call, how you can press the button and send a message back?
Yeah.
Every time I get a spam call, I'll go ahead and hit the message and say, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good idea.
I'm on my way.
But then you get a text back like, oh, this is a landline.
No, it comes back usually with a text message or something to give me a call back at this number or something like this. But I'll say, I'm on my way.
Hey TJ, what does the wife think of your new haircut?
She said it was nice.
Mason jar of moonshine. Yeah, 105 proof. It's paint
No.
thinner. That's what that is. Paint thinner.
Mhm.
Paint remover.
Paint remover.
And don't spill any on your automobile. Peel the paint.
That would be horrible. Don is
Got him.
coming.
Donald.
Let's come and talk about moonshine.
Yeah.
What up, Don?
You don't want to respond to a spam call because then they know they've got a live number.
Yeah.
Well, I always do. If I get suggested spam, I'll answer it and just set the phone down, so they just get
Yeah.
silence.
Well, what I usually do is do that, and then I come back and block the number.
Mhm.
But my theory is, if I just hang up on them or ignore them, that saves them time. But if I answer the phone and just set it down, it costs them time.
You got a
Well,
good
that's a
point.
good idea.
Did you ever see that
At the same
episode
time,
of
they just
Seinfeld?
hang up.
Did you see
They
that
hang up
episode
and
of
go to the next
Seinfeld when Jerry gets a spam phone call and they're like, "Would you be interested in da 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 da?" And Jerry was like, "No, but if you give me your number, I can give you a call back." And he was like, "Well, we're not allowed to do that." And the guy's like, "Well," and Jerry's like, "Well, I guess you don't want people calling you at your house." And the guy's like, "Well, no." And Jerry's like, "Well, now you know how I feel," and hangs up the
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy spam phone calls.
He's already on.
I used to wait for spam phone calls. I loved it because I'd mess with them. We had somebody calling to sell windows, and she starts into her spiel. I go, "Wait, hold on just a second. I have a couch that I'm getting rid of, and right now it's out by the street. I was going to pour a sell sign on it, but I was just wondering if you'd be interested in it." And she starts to say something. I go, no, don't interrupt me until you've heard me describe the couch. And she called me an asshole and hung up on me. It's like, that wasn't very professional.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love when you call the Middle Eastern ones and they call you mother bitch. Like shut
Yeah.
up, mother bitch. Like they put cuss
Mother
words
bitch.
together that we wouldn't put together.
That is
And
my
that cuss
favorite.
words don't
That's my
make
favorite
any
scam.
sense.
That was my favorite scam call was when they called and they were trying to tell me that I had a refund coming from the IRS. All I needed to do was give them my bank routing number.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guy for probably 20 minutes, just playing dumb, just back and forth things. He kept on saying, "Why do you not trust? Why do you not trust?" Like I'm going to tell him how to do his job better. It's like, so I just kept on, and finally I was like, "Oh, you mean you're going to be sending me money?" I yelled at my wife. I go, "Honey, we're going to get a bunch of money from the IRS," and hung up.
Oh yeah,
Like I'm all excited. So he calls back. I'm like, "Well, son of a bitch. If he calls back, it's on him." So he kept on saying he would give me his bank number. He would give me this. And finally he's like, "Would you just tell me the name of your bank?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo United Bank."
Scooby-Doo United Bank.
And he asked, "Could you spell that for me?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I spelled SCOOBYDOOUNITEDBANK. Okay, that is Scooby-Doo United Bank. And I lost it.
You do that really well, Don. You do that pretty well.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to get an Indian guy to say Scooby-Doo United Bank, it is great.
I'll remember that next time.
I lost. I died.
That's
That's
hilarious.
that's my favorite scam interaction ever.
You're not the only one, Randy.
My brother used to have the same predilection as me in getting people and just messing with people. And he got somebody when they were like wanting to buy tickets for a concert series. Like you could sponsor a kid to go to this concert, and it was for some sheriff association or something like that. He was talking to a guy, and he's like, "It just brings a tear to your eye." And my brother's like, "You mean it brought a tear to your eye?" And the guy's like, "What?" And he goes, "Just admit it, man. You cried." And just the guy's like, "Well, no, I'm just saying it's emotional, and just kind of it's emotional to see these kids." And my brother's like, "And you didn't cry at that? I think that's a beautiful thing. Just admit you cried. Why can't you be a man and admit you cried?" Finally, the guy admits he cried. He goes, "Yeah, I'm not interested." Click.
Who's Bill Bill Pullman?
I think it's a comedian. No, that one scammer I was fucking with that one day when Paul, the one that was fucking with Paul that one day, I called him back. Oh yeah, that dude was funny as shit. He's like, "Oh, I fuck your mother. I fuck your mother." And saying all kinds of dumb shit to me, and I was just laughing. I actually recorded it and put it as a short, I think. Or I put it as a video. Yeah.
Is it on your channel or?
Yeah, hold on, let me find it. I'll put the link in the chat.
That's what's headed my way right there.
But the voice, but the software I was using for some fucking reason wouldn't pick my voice up. It was only recording them because I didn't have my microphone set in NVIDIA software, so it wasn't picking me up.
I think I know who Randy's talking about now.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right, go back here. There you go, TJ.
How long before that gets to you?
About an hour and a half, 2 hours. About 7 o'clock, 7:30.
Unfortunately, my voice did not pick up on the call. I only picked up his voice, but yeah, we're gonna kind of just walk through it. See what he said.
What was that?
That is Justin or TJ's playing back Justin's video on when he messed with the scammer.
That was the scammer that you was fucking with you that one day, and I kept calling him back, talking shit to him. And he is talking me through the process.
Mad props. I have gotten the Bill Pullman thing for years. People have said, I mean, years. And it used to not bother me as much as until he started looking older and I start looking. But at least you're comparing me to Bill Pullman from Independence Day.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yes,
Bill
and Lone
Pullman
Star
was,
from Spaceballs.
yeah,
Give me
Bill
Paw.
Pullman was the one that played the president. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Marine traffic app it's free, Randy. And I think it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate, right, Paul?
Well,
For the
sometimes
most part.
Yeah.
there's a
There's-
little bit of a lag in it sometimes, but yeah, it gives you a general idea what's going on. The other thing you can do is you can dial in whatever. There's a lot of cameras on the rivers and lakes.
Yeah, I had to kind of narrate over the video of what he was talking about because it wasn't picking my voice up.
Yeah, I wonder why it wasn't picking up your voice in
Because
his
the NVIDIA software at the time, I forgot to set my mic. I had actually done a couple live streams where it wasn't picking up my voice when I was recording, and I forgot to set my microphone in it, so it was only picking up him.
As you can see, it's not going to be the nicest weather out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7 o'clock's looking like a good sunset shot, but not with that weather.
There's nobody in the hot tubs out in the back deck either. It's only 47 degrees.
I was gonna say, is it an active cruise ship right now, or are they?
Yeah.
are they
No, it's cruising right now.
I didn't know if they were running empty or not.
Well, they might be not full, but
I was gonna say, you'd think if they weren't running empty, you'd think you'd at least see some people out.
Well, you gotta remember it's dinner time.
Yeah, Randy, you would think that would be a little bit of a security risk. Being able to see where all the ships are at and shit. Like for the public, I could see like an agency using that, but it's the same with the planes though. You can sit and track planes all day if you want. That's how that one kid was tracking Elon's plane, bugging the fuck out of him. He offered the kid, what, $1 million and a free Tesla or something to leave him alone.
Really?
Yeah, he offered the kid money and a Tesla.
I'm gonna start stalking Elon and telling people where he's at.
I don't know whatever happened with that because it was like a 2 or 3 week long like news coverage about it, and then it just kind of faded off.
But
So
I'd rather just be friends with Elon. I'd rather not stalk him. I'd rather be friends with him.
that's why I said if I ever got like won the lottery for like $1 billion, I'd take half of it and just give it to Elon and be like, here, make me some money. Invest in
It's
Starlink.
the Viking Polaris. That's where it is. It's here to here is about 10.
And Elon would take that money and say, "You are the epitome of a fool, and his money are soon parted."
I would invest into SpaceX.
It's about 30 miles south of me. But it's doing 9.6 knots.
And a knot is what, 1.1 miles per hour?
Yep.
That looked a lot less than 30 miles, looked like about 20.
Well, I was using this down in the bottom. There's a graft. Let me see.
Yeah, I was using it too.
Elon would
I only counted 4.
waste
5
his time
miles.
on $1 billion. Yeah, probably, Randy.
Are you looking at If it's 20, you're looking at about almost 2 hours.
Elon doesn't care about money, though. You can
140.
tell
Mm-mm.
he doesn't give a shit about money.
He cares about money and the fact that it gives him the freedom to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Exactly. But he doesn't flaunt his money like other billionaires do.
What
I
you
mean, like-
drinking on?
No,
Well,
I guarantee. I mean, he's got a nice house. I guarantee he eats good food. I guarantee he wears nice clothes. But
Oh.
he doesn't like he's not walking around like with gold chains and crap.
Well, the thing is, too, is like one thing people tried to say, oh, Trump's just trying to make Elon money. Well, if that was the case, why didn't they push the electric mandate on everybody? Because that would have made Elon billions.
Hmm.
Elon didn't push him to do that. Elon was actually for him not doing that. So that kind of seems counterintuitive to his business. Like you would think that he would want that because it would
Yeah,
have
mad
helped
props.
his
That's what we're
company.
saying is that when you have that much money, it's like
I'll have gold teeth.
it means he doesn't have to think about it.
Well, that's a
But
had all that money.
I guarantee he does think about it as far as
That's funny.
as far as his company's net worth.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know he does care about money to a certain extent, but it's just
At
like you said, it's to fund his projects.
Yeah, at a
Trying to
certain
do.
point, it's just like, okay, well, money is a tool.
Yep.
And most of us, we use that tool. We use it up because it's an expendable tool because we have to eat. We have to pay rent. At a certain point, though, where you get to a certain point,
Well, like I said, there's a
plus
difference.
is just a tool. And
Like I
he
said,
used that tool to do, instead of using that tool to show off, he used that tool to make things. That's what gets him off is making things.
Well, like I said too, there's a difference between rich and wealthy.
Now, it's more a question of there's a difference between rich and stinking rich.
Exactly. Well, like I said, most billionaires, they usually have, 4 or 5 mansions and 5 different of the most expensive, real estate. They have multiple yachts, all kinds of shit. He doesn't have any of that stuff. He literally lives in like a 3-4 bedroom house that all of us would live in. That's right outside the SpaceX property. It's just a little tiny home. It's not nothing you would think a billionaire would live in. I'm sure it's a nice 4-bedroom house, but it's not this fucking big ass like 70s room mansion,
I'm not sure that I'd want to be tied down to a particular place by having houses in specific areas. That's what hotels are for. You can go wherever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the longest time, that's what he lived in was just hotels. He didn't even have a house.
I
Yeah,
guarantee
I know.
that most of his time is spent in other locations than his home. But it is nice to have a home.
Yeah, like
I'm sure he's not in the Motel 6.
No, he's not.
He's probably staying in Trump Towers.
I like Casey Neistat's view on it. Is that he always wanted to make enough money to be comparable to a dentist. About how much a dentist makes in your town. Yeah, that's a good amount of wealth.
He probably when he's in DC, he probably stays at the White House. You see him walking through the halls in his robe. So the drones that DJI sends out of Canada, they come out of a company called SBE Canada Limited.
Did you look them up?
No, it's in Ontario.
Ed's not here. He can't tell you.
That's just all the trouble with like I said, with the tariffs and with getting stuck at the borders and all this. How did they pick this up on one day in the afternoon, and I got it the next morning, and it went through customs and everything. That makes sense. Look at the box. They may have wrote fentanyl on it.
You lose something?
Yeah,
What'd you lose?
I'm just looking for something.
Uh,
Okay. I got it back.
Looking for his can of Vegemite.
Yeah.
His can of Vegemite.
No, it comes. Yeah.
All right.
You mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I
There
didn't
it
think
is.
it was far from you. I wasn't talking about the cat.
No, she's asleep, which is good. She's not annoying me. at
Which
the
is
moment.
good.
Yeah, she's not annoying me.
That's like mine right now. All of mine are knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Clean that board, Don. Clean that board.
Hey, everything I can knock off makes me happy.
There you go.
I knocked off one thing. I gotta add. I knocked off a big thing, but now I'm adding a small thing just to double check on tomorrow morning.
Oh, there you
That would be a run a report.
What did you say it was called, Joe?
SBE Canada Limited.
S D or B?
B. B as
D.
in boy.
Boy.
And then tomorrow, I have just a few things to do. And I want to build a new pivot table. Tracker for all the clients and what they're spending for the month.
Oh man, that's horrible. Randy had a guy at work today who sharded.
No.
There's electronics and precision equipment repair and maintenance.
Yep.
What am I hearing?
Mississauga.
Mississauga.
Yeah.
What's a saga now?
Wash your mouth up. Well,
Oh, mowers.
They are one of North America's largest independent electronics repair companies.
Hmm. Yep.
I hear TJ's voice.
What are you watching?
Well, I think she's sleeping, actually.
No, she's not watching. She's sleeping.
Got some crazy game show on or whatever. I don't know.
It's always a crazy game show.
Where'd Justin go? He's on mute.
I think he might be talking on the phone, I think.
Oh, he's back.
Hey, JDS. Hello, John.
That's right, John. That's right. Joe, Jim's asking if you're sure that the drone brand.
No, he's not sure.
Yeah, he was like, "Are you sure your
But
drone?"
it came in a new box. But
Box said
it
said
had-
care refresh.
it
Care
said
refresh, and
refresh.
it didn't say. The
Mm,
one that I bought from
Interesting.
place that was refurbished before said RB model. This one did not. It just said care refresh. I'll put it this way: if it was refurbished, it looks better than the first one I
Here
got.
comes David.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Oh, David.
What's up, David?
The bird got his tongue, I think.
They aren't big.
Well, a fucking bird turned the microphone off.
They've got they've got a UK
They're not a
UK,
big fan of yours, are they, David?
SBE France.
Now,
They're all over the
They're all
bloody
over the
place.
place.
well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It sounds to me like TJ is fighting and waiting for Halloween to come. After he scares everybody on the street.
Dress up as a vampire or something.
Yeah, every day's Halloween with TJ.
I know. I know.
And Timothy. Hey, Brenda.
Hey, David, do you ever watch videos from Tiny? You know who Tiny Tim is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Jim.
He's not still around, is he?
No,
No, he
he
died.
died years ago.
I see videos of him like on YouTube. He's making all these prank phone calls and everything. It's pretty
Yes,
funny.
it's still going.
Tiny Tim?
Tiny Tim is still alive?
No, Tiny Tim died.
No, he's still alive.
Tiny
No,
Tim
he's
died of a
not.
heart attack on stage.
Yeah.
Did it?
He said, "I'm not feeling well," and he walked off stage and had a heart attack and died.
the bald-headed guy.
No, ball.
The original Tiny Tim.
Oh,
there
we're talking
another
a different Tiny Tim.
You know,
then.
he used to sing the tiptoe through the tulip.
Oh Lord, stop.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, but
where's the mute button?
Okay. Mudball's got it down pat.
Yeah, Don does have it down.
Okay, TJ. Tiny Tim, the YouTuber that does all the funny voices and all that shit. No, he's still going and
Oh, okay. That
Posting
Tiny
his
Tim's still
shit.
going.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that
Okay.
Tiny Tim.
I've
You
never
would
heard
have
of him.
you would have done. But Tiny Tim, the musician, has passed on.
Yeah.
When did he die? Does it say?
Nearly 30 years
He
ago.
died a long time
A
ago.
long
There's
time
actually there's actually a video of him dying on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to. Well, there's a
Nine-
video of him having a heart attack on stage. He went off
Yeah,
stage. and died.
1996 he died.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was in the 90s because he got married on Johnny Carson, and it was towards the end of Johnny Carson's run that he made his last appearance.
And they said he smelled really bad too.
Yes, they say he was a smelly guy.
And they called his kid child. He never called his kid by their name. It was always child or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was an odd cookie. But
Yep.
he was really odd, but he was also very interesting.
Hello.
Hmm.
Well, it was interesting enough that you got his voice down just perfect, Don.
There was another actor too that they said smells really bad because he refuses to use deodorant. I can't remember who it was.
Good boy. You
I
good
want
boy.
Pedro
Matthew
Pascal.
McConaughey. They said he doesn't
Okay.
like using deodorant.
Okay.
Weird. That's kind of
I
gross.
think I'm pretty sure it was him. Let me look.
Who would walk around with BO all day? I couldn't stand that.
Mm.
Right, so
Bo Derek. I've walked down with Bo Derek.
so this is the Tiny Tim TJ's on about. He does stupid voices.
I'm 3, nearly 6.
I think you might be a little bit too young to drive.
Okay.
No, I'll stop you right there. I'm a big boy. I can drive my car.
Are you sure it's not your mum that's looking for driving lessons?
No, me. My mum don't get out of bed because she's a lazy pig, and I've got to go to the shops and stuff. I'm not mum.
You go to the shops for your mum?
In my car.
Is your car like our car, where it's a VW Golf?
Is your car like my car? Is it red and yellow?
I'm not sure if you've got a yellow one, but I'm definitely sure we've got a red one somewhere.
I've got a little red and yellow car that goes proper fast. Well, depends how fast I'm pedaling, really, but it goes meow. Proper rapid. I'm able to go to the shopping.
That's enough of that shit.
That is funny.
No,
That irritates
Now,
the shit out of
TJ,
me.
that is funny.
Yeah, that is pretty
I would argue that's not funny. I
All
would
he-
rather listen
all
to
he
Tip to
does.
the, I'd rather listen to Tip to the Tulips on repeat for the next 24 hours than listen to any more of that.
I'm with you, Donald. Right? When Laura sends me the videos, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I've got close to blocking Laura for it.
So Matthew McConaughey said, revealed in the 2005 People's Sexiest Man Alive story that he hasn't worn deodorant in nearly 40 years.
Ew.
And
You don't-
people said that he
You
does
don't
start
need to wear
smelling.
deodorant. If you wash often
Well,
enough, you don't need it.
He bathes. He
It
doesn't.
says co-stars just have described him as smelling like granola and good living.
Granola and what?
Good living.
Oh.
DJ,
I mean-
you don't need deodorant. Just rub yourself in strawberries.
Oh yeah.
And then they
Just
say
put, like some
Kate-
strawberries underneath my armpit.
They
You
say
won't,
Kate,
you won't smell very nice later on, but you will for an hour.
and then they
Oh.
said Kate Hudson and Shallow Bluff are the same way.
Deodorant doesn't do you any good. It blocks the pores that allow you to sweat.
And that's what BO is. It's your body's natural.
Oh, it's bacteria.
It's bacteria.
Mhm.
Same
You
thing
know,
that
if
makes
you
you.
don't
It's
have
your body's
bacteria,
natural
then
way
you
of
don't
getting rid
smell.
of-
You can sweat all day long and not smell as long as you don't have bacteria. But everybody has bacteria on their body.
So should you
Yeah,
not wear
same with
deodorant?
why your breath stinks. It's just bacteria.
You're better off using an antibacterial soap than deodorant.
Nice enough.
Not in Florida, you want. I'm not fucking going outside without deodorant on.
Yeah, hell no. Hell no.
Like you'd be all right the first couple hours in the house, but the minute you walk outside, you're fucked.
Yeah. Tiptoe through the BO.
What you need is an antiperspirant, not a deodorant.
Yeah. Yep. I use some of that roll-on stuff anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the drugstore and asked for some deodorant. And they said the ball kind. I said no, just for under the armpits.
yeah. I was just about to say that, and I thought, no, Don's going to say it.
Oh, no, you know Manscaped actually makes deodorant for your balls, right?
That was a very popular joke back when they first invented the ball deodorant, the roll-on.
I think I heard that what Jim was talking about Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
In fact,
they don't take
further than that.
But then when they do take a shower, they take a shower with their child.
Ew.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
It went further than ball. It also included.
I think if I was going to be taking a shower with Mila Kunis, having a child there would be necessary to keep me from getting overexcited.
Yeah.
You know, in 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, when they're speaking Indian, he's speaking like a fake Indian. And whenever he says, fine, he's actually saying, Mila Kunis. Because she's fine.
Yeah.
I'd put a diaper on and get in the shower with her.
I would too.
I ain't getting in the shower with fucking no one. Back in him.
Not even me, if I ask nicely.
Nope. Not even Laura.
Come on, David. Take a shower with me, man.
Hell no.
Take a shower with me, David.
Well, is that like not
Love.
common over there for spouses to take showers together?
It probably is, but like Laura likes
I
her.
would not take
Laura
a shower
likes,
with my wife.
right.
I
Laura
do.
likes her water. Luke,
I did.
yeah.
I've done it in the past. The problem is taking a shower with your significant other, you end up cuddling, shivering your ass off while they get all the nice hot water. And you're back there
Yeah.
shivering your butt off. And I don't know if you know things about the human male anatomy, but there's shrinkage when you get cold.
Shrinkage. Oh, shrinkage.
Well, Laura likes to shower. Shut up, TJ.
My shower pool isn't big enough to have 2 people in it.
Speak for yourselves, Donald. Speak
Right.
for yourself.
Well, Laura likes her water lukewarm, and I like mine steaming hot on full power and sandblast mode.
Oh, I,
Does
love,
Laura-
I,
does
I
Laura-
always turn the water all the way up to high.
Does Laura take baths or showers?
They can't have a bath in their apartment because David's thing.
Because of David.
They think he's going to slip and drown in 3 feet of water.
Yeah. But don't worry, I'll slip and drown when I smash my head on the fucking sink.
Yeah.
He's got to wear
Hey.
He's got to wear floaties when he eats soup.
He's got floaties on the toilet.
I love when the Family Guy, they put Peter in that. He fucking still drowns in the soup. He's like, the floaties didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that one.
Yeah. He's like, I get the floaties, but why do I got to wear a helmet?
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
TJ, you going to watch the Stitch movie?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not
You
sure.
guys.
Yeah, that's what. Who said that?
David did this morning.
Spoiler
I
alert.
did. I said that little alien rat died.
Oh yeah,
Alien
the little
squirrel.
alien rat guy. Yeah.
I just
it looks like a good movie. I mean, I think I'd go see it. It looks like a pretty good
Well,
movie.
you said
It's
Laura.
funny.
You said Laura cried. I just couldn't cry over a fake character dying. Like, I can't even
Wait, who died?
Stitch.
Stitch in the movie.
Oh, okay.
In the new movie, he dies? Why did you guys
Well-
ruin that just now?
Yeah, we don't need to go and see the movie then.
Oh, you
How
do?
did you ruin the... What?
You don't know how he dies.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't die in the TV show or in the original movie, in the animated show.
We do.
He
You
didn't
talk
die in this one.
nothing.
He's just
Yeah,
like Godzilla at the bottom
but-
of the water. He's gonna come to life after.
Donald wasn't here this morning though, so he didn't hear that.
Oh, you didn't hear that Stitch died.
What the
Well,
fuck?
David said that he went to the movie with Laura, and Laura cried in the movie.
I can't even cry when an actor dies in real life.
Right,
It's
but
just-
Justin,
I don't know you that personally. I can't shed a tear for you.
but Justin,
What?
you've seen Laura, right? We went out today, right? She said she was going to watch Stitch movie. She had Stitch shoes, Stitch socks, Stitch fucking trousers, Stitch jumpers, Stitch handbag, Stitch keyring, Stitch everything. Right? I'm like, we're just going to the cinema to watch a film for fuck's sake, right? And then she bought fucking Stitch popcorn for 12 bloody quid.
That
came out
was
of-
cheap.
Buying
Buying popcorn for 12 quid?
That's about $15.
Yeah.
About 25 here.
Look,
Dude,
Better than
popcorn's
me.
I could've-
expensive at the movie theater. It's crazy.
I could have saw Laura coming out of the movie theater.
Was she
throwing
buying
everything.
Was she buying
It's
a
a
special
lie.
popcorn container?
You can buy
No.
you can buy a bucket of popcorn from Home Bargains for about £3.
Yes, of course you can always buy popcorn cheaper outside of the theater.
Yeah.
I could
Just bring it in the theater with you.
No, I could have
Yeah, do
seen
that.
Laura walking
You're
out
not-
of the
You're
theater.
technically not allowed, TJ.
No, I could.
Yeah,
I could've
but
seen-
people still do it. Like they'll put.
Best time to go to the movies is in the middle of winter, so you can have a big jacket in, and then you
Oh, yeah.
just fill the pockets with various
Snacks.
candy.
Yeah,
I
you
just-
popcorn flavored Jelly Bellies.
Yeah.
Now there is a place here at the Route 66 Theater, not the drive-in, but there's a place here in Webb City downtown. It's an old theater that they've refurbished, and you go in, and they're actually pretty reasonable on their popcorn and their drinks.
No, I could have seen Laura walking out of the movie theater throwing her shit, all her Stitch shit in the trash can. It was a whole lie.
Jim wants
No,
to know if you watched that movie he sent you.
Yeah, no, not yet. I'm gonna check it out tonight though.
I'm calling
What
bullshit
movie?
if they killed Stitch. I'm calling bullshit on that. That is, I was already kind of like, no, we already have a Lilo and Stitch that was good. We don't need a live action version. And if they killed Stitch, then yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys.
I'm a little bit pissed off. You don't kill Stitch.
Donald,
What?
I only said he died. I didn't say what happened afterwards or beforehand.
Well, you might as well spill the beans. It's like
No. He died.
Dominic and I aren't going to go
okay.
watch.
So did they pull an ET on us? Because
I can't tell you any of that.
ET died,
That's
but
what-
he didn't really die.
That's what I thought it was, Donald. Like he's gonna end up coming back, and they'll have some story of what really happened.
Reanimate him.
You know, Donald, you know how Godzilla was down at the bottom of the sea and they thought he was dead and he came back?
Well,
Same
which time? Because
yeah,
the original
same thing.
Godzilla, he did die.
Yeah,
it was
but
a
this
different
one he
creature. The
just
second Godzilla
fell to the
came
bottom
out
and they
back-
assumed he died.
No, in Godzilla Raids Again, it was actually an entirely separate creature. It was not the original Godzilla from the original movie. The original Godzilla from the original movie did die.
So in other words, this is going to be Statue, not Stitch. Statue.
So, if you want to talk about Godzilla, we'll talk about Godzilla. I know my Godzilla shit almost as good as I know my Lord of the Rings
was
shit.
it, Jeff?
Yeah. But the only bad thing about the film was there was no Gantu. Right? That's the evil guy in the spaceship.
Yeah.
He's not in the film.
Well, who was the bad guy then? Was just the guy who was trying to break up Lilo and her sister?
Yeah. You see,
Well,
they got rid of the alien threat entirely?
No, the aliens are still there. It's just the bad guy in his little experiment that goes around eating jam sandwiches and stuff. Them two are not in it.
Hey,
no,
Don?
Disney had probably offended somebody.
Yeah. Bleakley's
Don,
in it.
just for safety precautions, man, do you think you should hang your cord somewhere else? I mean, I think you might like catch yourself one day.
They're normally hung over next to the post, but I am using the post to lean the box
What
up
movie
against.
was it?
So I've got it just hanging here.
It's beginning to sound more and more like Sonic.
I have not seen any of the Sonics.
I haven't either.
I thought you were going to say it was beginning to sound like Christmas.
Good fun.
It was definitely not Sonic.
But they have
I haven't seen any of those Sonic movies. I'd like to.
well,
Only
they-
one.
If you'd like to, they are available. You can rent them. You can purchase them.
Yeah.
It's not like they're being hidden from you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So this may or may not cause an argument, but Randy says his favorite Godzilla was from 1999 with Matthew Broderick.
I
Boot 'em
think
off.
I think he's saying that just to try and get a rise.
Yeah, boot them off.
The proper end to that Zilla was in Final Wars when the aliens brought down the 99 or 90 whatever it was Matthew Broderick monster. They called it Zilla. Brought it down and Godzilla destroyed it in like one little kick. Or no, he hit it with his tail. Smashed it into the Sydney Opera House, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Godzilla Final Wars is a bad film. It sucks. It really wanted to be The Matrix. Actually, it had several of those things. It had several things combined, but it's still a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
My son and I were thinking about making just a series of YouTube videos, like movie reviews, where we just sat down and watched all the Godzilla movies and reviewed them.
Oh, there you go.
Ashley's probably done it already.
What
Do
was that,
what?
Randy? All pre-99 Godzilla movies.
Ashley, well, Ashley Burton.
Ashley Burton.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, great. She
Yeah,
watched it, but she hasn't sat down and watched it with. I haven't sat down and watched it, so that she's a different person. So that's
So
why you would
is
get a
it?
different thing.
So you're saying like Mystery Science Theater 3000, or?
No, I would say that I would probably have better insight and better memories of actually seeing Godzilla at the drive-in theater than she's watching it for the first time ever and being like, oh, reacting.
Okay. I gotcha.
And I'm saying just because one person has covered a subject doesn't mean that another person can't.
A valid point.
True.
Sometimes I wish we only had one person covering a new drone release, and that way no one else can cover it too.
Yeah, good point.
Just have one
Good
person,
point.
that's it.
Good point.
Mm-hmm. But which one
Wanted
of
Dead
those
or Alive.
would you pick?
What's that movie?
And the French guy was Rene. Oh, the guy from Leon the Professional.
Jean
Is he the one that
Rene.
played the military guy?
Jean Rene.
Yes.
Yeah. He was from some like military group or something, wasn't he? The movie. Better watch the Jerky Boys movie.
Oh, I think I've seen bits and pieces of that. That was pretty hilarious. I haven't seen the full. I didn't see the full thing, but
I had a firecracker go off in my hand, and my fingers are all nummy and stuff.
It literally sounds like something TJ would be watching.
The Jerky Boys, yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Donald, when you're flying your drone and you land and your battery's low, do you immediately charge it or wait for it to cool off?
Wait for it to cool off.
Me?
Yes, he's asking you.
It would probably be cooled off because usually I'm tossing in another battery and just setting the spent battery to the side until I get back to the house. I usually don't charge it until I get back to the
I've
house.
always been told you let it cool down first.
Yeah. Should do, really.
You know,
Yeah,
Jason's
they
flying
would-
right now. He took one directly out of the Mavic 3 and plugged it directly into a charger.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
wouldn't have done that because that's hot.
Well, and you got to also factor in, does he have a place to even cool the batteries? Because if he's just outside somewhere.
Well, he's got other batteries. Just use other batteries. Charge them later.
Yeah. Charge them into sequence so you're using a fresh battery, and the one that just came out of your drone gets a chance to.
I used to just keep my car running because I was never there more than like 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah,
Leave
because
all the batteries
if
in the
I fly through 3 batteries and I only have 3 or 4, I don't care about the other ones later on. Then I'll let them sit here to make sure they're cool.
Because how hot it gets down here in the summer, I would always leave my car on and leave it by the air
Yeah.
conditioner. Keep them cool. I would always put the floor on, and then put it down on the right in front of the seat on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So the air conditioner would keep a nice cool breeze on it. Jason's not even really into drones anymore. He's kind of.
I know, but he's flying right now.
Yeah, he's doing a job. Like he still does some jobs
Yeah.
here and there, but he's not really into it anymore. You can tell.
I
when he
know.
talks
I was
about it.
shocked seeing him flying.
And then he was doing this thing for a while, like for I think about a month, where he was renting his drones out to people. I think somebody did something to one of his drones. He got all pissed off and he wasn't stopped doing it. think it was a Mavic 3 or something. They did something to it. Yeah, he's got a bunch of Joe or Jason actually has a lot of drone shit. Like goggles and different goggles and FPV drones and stuff. He just doesn't do anything with them. He's got a 3D printer just sitting in his garage.
What Jason does?
Yeah, but Jason's even said before he goes through so many hobbies.
Yeah, he basically whatever's new he gravitates towards, and I'm surprised he's still gaming.
Oh, I am too, to be honest with you. I'm surprised he's even still doing that.
But it allows him to spend time with his nephew, right?
Well, his nephew, his brother, his son plays.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not just a solo hobby. It allows him some interaction
having
time.
like a gaming
Here's
PC setup
Randy.
is one of those things where you're always
good.
buying
We've got
different
9 now.
products, testing things.
Randy.
And it's a black hole, and he stays buying all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah, that's true. And that lets him gravitate. He's always gravitating to the latest, greatest, newest, whatever thing, and he gets to do that at the same time while orbiting the gaming.
Right. And he's got, oh my God, dude, he has so much shit hooked up to this computer. I mean,
Jim, yes, No Time for Sergeants. That's a great show. I haven't seen it in forever, but it is awesome.
Hello.
If you like No Time for Sergeants, there's a serious movie that Andy Griffith was in called A Face in the Crowd, which is phenomenal. If you get a chance to see A Face in the Crowd, it's really good. Yes, John Reno.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much shit he has hooked up in his computer.
So are all your little gremlins fed, Randy?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Nice.
They'll be bothering me in a few minutes. I'm sure.
We want some cake and ice cream too.
Well, my daughter's eating. She's eating an Italian water ice right now, so she should be good for the next like 15 minutes.
He's eating an Italian what?
Water ice.
Water ice.
An Italian water ice. Is that like a popsicle?
You don't know what water ice
It's
is?
Italian shaved ice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a popsicle in a cup.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard it called a water
cookie.
ice.
You heard of Rita? Do they have Ritas out where you're at?
Yeah, I think there's a Rita's around here somewhere. I think that I've seen.
I know what shaved ice is. I know what like a frozen lemonade stuff like that is.
You know what a slushy is?
Uh-huh. I've
That's
never
never-
heard of something called a water ice.
Well, when I was growing up, it was called water ice, but it's called Italian ice.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know what
Italian
Italian
ice
ice is.
Yeah.
But I call BS on your water ice. I reject that in my JoJo, sir.
Let's see what Dr. Google says about it.
Dr. Google.
Any relation to Jill?
Water ice. The thing, it's a term for
No, it's from Philadelphia and the surrounding areas, and I'm like 30 minutes from Philly.
Oh, okay. So
So
water
I guess
ice
it's a Philly thing.
is a word for Italian ice used in Philadelphia and by degenerates globally.
By degenerates.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Dude, that's a pretty sweet setup you got there with your 3D printing stuff.
Yeah, it's not how I want it, but it's how it works for now.
Yeah. Are you gonna rearrange it later on or whatever? Or?
Yeah, I want a heavy duty shelf, and it's like one of the 4 shelf, like a garage shelf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break it down to 2 shelves and put like it in the corner.
I mean, it looks like
Just
it's holding up. It's holding up for now, anyways.
Yeah, it serves its purpose. That's a conference table for my job.
Um,
Well,
can you put like get those what are those things that they sell at Home Depot? They're metal, and you can put them on the wall. Then you put the shelf. You put the shelf on top of the metal, like little frame things or whatever.
I don't know.
TJ's overthinking it, Randy.
Yeah, this is just a metal shelf. Holds like 2,000 pounds per shelf.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But I'm gonna take 1x1 boards and stain them and route them around the edges and screw them to the studs, and then I'm gonna screw the shelves to the 1xs.
Oh, there you
go. Just use some little drywall hangers. You'll be all right.
Yeah, right.
Like the people that try to mount TVs and they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Stud finder is your best friend.
I can't use a stud finder.
No
Is
shit.
this constantly
Look at this.
finding you?
It goes off every time I hold it, so I got to have somebody else run it along the wall.
Wow.
And look at this. Philadelphia water ice, mango premium Italian ice.
Oh yeah, it's like kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, that's they have that at the dollar store. It's $1.25 for that, and that's pretty good. The mango. I never realized it said water ice on it.
Now that I think about it, it does sound a little weird, but that's what I've always heard it called.
I don't think I've ever eaten anything other than ice made of water.
Because, like, what is it? Water or is it ice? It can't be both.
Well, it can be ice, but it can be a different kind, be a different substance. It's like water ice, as opposed to this urine ice over here.
Like
urine ice.
Urine ice.
Dry ice is just pure carbon dioxide.
It's
Hey,
yeah,
Paul.
it's Italian. You're a very nice. You're nice. You're nice. You're very nice.
Will you get in trouble if I show a toy firearm?
No.
Yeah, you probably get kicked off.
As long, well, if it doesn't look anything like a proper one.
Oh, no. No.
Hey Randy, they've got a blue Hawaiian. It's blueberry, coconut, and pineapple. That's pretty good too.
You can share gun videos and stuff on a live stream. You just can't be holding one in your hand. On
What?
camera.
You can show
on live, right?
Yeah, you can show pictures and videos from YouTube.
Yeah, but he was talking about showing one in his hands.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
They'll cut the stream completely.
Yeah, if you show a picture, you're fine. Or if you show a video, that's fine. You just can't have it in your hand. Because they got Jason for having an M14 replica or some shit up on the wall. It wasn't even real. It was just on the wall in the background. And then that same thing with Ron. Ron's was in the background up on the wall, and they got him for it.
That's only live.
He took it off the wall.
Yeah, because YouTube's policy is you can have gun channels, you can do videos about guns, shooting ranges. You just can't show how to illegally modify a gun, and you can't show how to. So you can't try to sell guns through YouTube. But the reasoning for the live streams is because they don't want people doing like mass shootings or self-deleting themselves on a live.
Yeah, they did Uncle Bill's when Donald showed a pistol grip for a camera.
Yeah.
No.
A pistol grip.
I did it as a joke. I did it as a joke, and it didn't get him for that. But he was actually showing a weapon on his stream. It wasn't because of my pistol grip for the camera.
No, but YouTube's guidelines on gun channels is actually very lax. I mean, it's pretty much just don't illegally modify on a video and don't try to sell your weapons through YouTube.
Well, I 3D printed a Desert Eagle, and it looks like the real thing.
I've got
It
one
articulates.
Desert Eagle.
You can rack the slide too.
Just take a picture and show or
I've
video, a
got
little
two
video.
Desert
and
Eagle
send it to us.
BB guns that you can use that look perfect.
Can you shoot it too, or no?
Yeah, mine. Yeah.
No, you can't shoot it, but it has bullets that you can load and eject from the chamber.
Like I said, I'd never trust a 3D printed real gun any fucking way.
I wouldn't.
Well,
I
the only
don't give a
thing,
shit.
the 3D printed gun is the only thing 3D printed is the composite, the actual frame of the gun, the lower receiver.
I don't care. I'm not shooting anything with layered plastic.
Well, it's not layer plastic. You got to make it out of like ASA carbon fiber or something like that. It's not PLA for sure.
Well, no, but the at the end of the day, it's not a molded piece. It's being layered from a printer, is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It definitely, I don't think I would trust it, but
I wouldn't trust anything that was going to be under pressure.
the gun
But-
that guy used to shoot the CEO of the United
Mhm.
Healthcare, that was a 3D printed gun.
Yeah, but the receiver's not going to be it's not going to be having a ton of pressure on it, so
Right.
you're fine.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because all your pressure is going against your slide and the barrel.
Yeah, they're usually one shot only.
Can you shoot the 3D printed gun or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have real ones.
It's not a 3D printed gun like you're thinking of, like a whole gun 3D printed. You're just printing the lower receiver, the composite
And then
part
you,
of it.
then you buy all the other parts.
Okay.
Right, you buy all the parts online because the receiver is the hardest part to get. You can buy parts here, parts there, parts here, but the receiver is the one that's got the serial number and it's harder to get. Like you can buy a barrel, you can buy a slide, you can buy firing mechanism, you know what I mean, all that good stuff. I've been selling the shit out of these little birdhouses.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those
$30.
look pretty cool. Those look cool, actually.
Yeah, lady just ordered 3 of these. These ones look like a barn.
I like that red and white one.
Yeah, they came out really good.
You're just doing that all on Facebook?
People I know.
Hmm.
And then I've been making some like some signs for your mailbox that display your house number.
You could do like Mike does and do some outside house stuff and then go to like a what do you want to call it? Like a little trade show or one of the little
Craft show?
craft shows.
Yep.
Set up a little. They actually have ones like my aunt back in the day. There was this place that you could set up your craft table with all your crafts, and you didn't have to be there. They would each table had its own like numbering thing, and if somebody
Like a flea
liked
market.
something, yeah, but you didn't have to be there. It was they would take it up, and then the person would know it was your item,
Yeah.
and then you would get a cut from it. at
Yeah,
the-
we've got a couple places like that around here.
Yeah, you
You
don't
buy a
actually-
booth and it's got a number and they manage all that for you.
Yeah, you don't have to actually be there all the time. You could just set your shit up. And just leave it.
My aunt's friend, she bought some stuff, and she actually owns a food truck. I think a food truck, and she invited me to come. Like she does a lot of craft shows and stuff like that. She said if I ever want to tag along and set up a display.
I think,
or like getting food off of a food truck is like one of the best things you could ever do. Like their food is so good, so yummy.
Yeah.
DJ, if that's the best thing you could ever do, yeah,
Well, I mean,
I know. I just dread to think how
Hey.
boring your life would be.
TJ, there's a reason they nickname it the Roach Wagon.
what is that reason?
Think about
Because it's not the most sanitary.
Because of like the Mexicans and shit like
Extra
that.
protein.
Jesus Christ! What the hell?
It's not the most sanitary, is what they're saying.
It doesn't matter who's running it.
TJ,
It's like it's because of the Mexicans.
TJ, one cockroach or two.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna go because I can't be associated with this stream anymore.
Wouldn't be the first time something like that happened.
Jesus.
Or the last.
Well, I don't know. I guess. Well, it seems like they would be sanitary because after they're done using it, they would clean it and everything.
No,
you
no.
would hope so.
Food trucks are just as you're taking just a chance eating at a food truck than a restaurant.
Yeah.
Not all of them are nasty. There's a lot of good food trucks that take pride in their food.
Yeah, most of them are good. It's just I don't know what you call it, just with their
There's a percentage.
Just the ones that sell tacos. Right. I was joking, by the way. I was making fun of TJ when I said that, in case there's any doubt.
Yeah. TJ, I've got a vehicle for you, and it's not a food truck. Get digging your own grave.
You got to think of it. Chain restaurants, they can afford fuck ups here and there on people's foods, and they'll still be fine. But mom and pop restaurants, if they want to survive, they have to do really good.
Yep.
I mean, just like gutter oil. Oh, that's so nasty, Corey. I watched the video on that shit.
Oh, yeah, over
in China. Yeah.
Yes, they use that. Oh, yeah.
That's fucking disgusting. They're pulling that oil up out of the
sewer
oil traps out of the sewers, and reusing it in their restaurants. Oh,
You know, they actually sell. I've seen on Temu or Amazon or whatever. Like they actually sell like those damn tractors that you can actually like ride on and dig with. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, it's probably some cheap ass tractor from China. Just like you can buy a lot of really cheap like scooters and shit on there, like 49cc scooters and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're just cheap pieces of crap at the end of the day. And sometimes the cost of those, man, you could get like an actual Honda or a Yamaha, you could actually get a name brand scooter or motorcycle for the same price.
Right.
It's going to be 10 times better built and reliable.
I'm getting ready to buy a motor.
Man, if you bought one of them offline, where the heck would you store it?
In your garage?
I'm getting ready to buy a motor for a mountain bike. You can get them for like $100 on Amazon.
They used to be expensive. Like the kits for the bicycles, the electric kits.
You can get 100cc kits for like $80 on Amazon right now.
Yeah, they used to be really expensive. Like the electric kit I was looking at a couple of years ago for a mountain bike, it was, I don't remember how big a battery and all that was.
No, this is a gas kit.
It was a wheel. It was the back wheel, the motor, the battery, and by the time it was all said and done, it was like $600-700.
Yeah,
and that was about average.
Gas is a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah, you'll probably get like 100 miles to a gallon, something ridiculous on it too.
Yeah.
But it's only going to take like a half gallon. It's probably going to be a really small tank.
I just wanted to ride over to the racetrack, the drag strip, putt around there.
Yeah, just ride around the neighborhood and shit.
Yep.
Quarter mile in 2.5 minutes. Yeah.
TJ,
Yo.
you put that Air 2S up for sale yet?
Oh, hold on.
Justin saying no, don't do it.
Oh, I just don't see the point of him doing that. But
No,
Wait, what are you talking about now?
talking about you selling your.
Oh no.
Jim and I were talking earlier, and I was on my when I went to go get my hair cut, we were talking, and he was like, "No, don't do it. Just fly what you have."
Yeah, I mean, in all actuality, just keep it. If you're gonna buy something, get a 3D printer.
I mean, because I don't
Yeah.
yeah, get a 3D printer. Yeah, I mean, like I don't really fly that much anyway, and I'm not like as big as the other guys out there are, so I don't do a lot of like.
well,
video.
it's not even that though. It's you don't fly very much. You're more of like me back in the day. You're kind of more straight out of the drone. You don't really do extensive editing.
Yeah.
So you don't need a drone that's got a bunch of extra features that you're never going to use.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't use half the features now.
No, you need a Mavic 4.
Yep, that's right. The only reason I was saying upgrade is because the battery.
Air 3S.
The battery's on there.
Air 3S.
Pull the trigger.
Hey, I got one in my cart over at DJI.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking to you.
I don't know, man.
DJ, you got the Avata?
Yeah, the OG one.
And you got the Integra goggles?
Yeah. Yeah, because I can't. I thought I could fly the Neo with the goggles, but I can't because of my goggles because I only have the Integras.
Well, and the biggest thing too, even if you sold that Air 2S, dude, you're gonna still have to put up a significant amount of money.
Yeah, because you're only gonna get like 600-700 for the Air 2S combo.
Maybe 8 if you're lucky.
Yeah, and then if I went and bought the Air 3S or whatever, I'd probably have to put up another like couple $100.
No, it's
Oh, no way. Air
Oh.
3S is like almost $2,000.
$1,600.
Yeah, you'd have to put up almost anywhere between $800 to $1,000.
Just get a 3D printer. I think you would benefit from a 3D printer.
How much are those running?
You can get a mini one for like $300.
Yeah.
And then you have to print everything miniatures.
But I would recommend going and getting the A1, which
TJ's
is
licking his lips again. He must be.
I have a question. Why would TJ benefit from a 3D printer? What would he get out of it?
enjoyment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another activity.
Shithead
TJ,
awards.
you don't need it.
Shithead awards.
And he can
Now,
make money. He can make money. You can make some extra money with it.
Randy, have you seen this show before?
Print myself some coasters and sell them.
Couple times.
Yeah.
You've seen it a few times. Have you seen the Paul Murray specials of this show?
Yes.
You really think we could cope with the TJ version?
That'd be funny.
It's like, DJ, you got to put the wire in on the left. DJ's guy's laughing, sticking it in the main, going, that's funny.
Yeah, TJ's house would just be full of random ass fucking trinkets.
That's funny. Giggles FPV ashtray.
Yeah, no, Corey says you got to do ashtrays.
Good point, David. Good point.
Just think about this, right? When he gets that first bird's nest and he's sat there for 4 hours going, that's funny. His living room is just filling up with fucking more filament.
Speaking of
He's going to be selling bird nests.
There you go, TJ. This is what Corey said you're getting.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
DJ, if you need a new hobby, get some felting.
Yeah.
TJ can sit on the beach and dig up stuff.
Hey, those things are pretty cool. Hey, David, check this out. This is made out of PLA wood.
Nice. That's awesome.
Turned out
actually,
really nice.
yeah, I printed out a few cockatiels and conures and stuff.
I think
I've
that's
got
a canary.
I've got a giant glow in the dark cockatiel in the bedroom.
Sweet.
I mean, to be honest, I could see TJ using a 3D printer. Only because you've heard how many times he's asked somebody to 3D print him something.
That's
I
what
never
I'm
had a
talking
glow in the
about.
dark one,
Yeah.
but I had a cockatoo the other night.
TMI, Don. TMI.
So,
Just a regular, just
where-
a regular
where-
cockatoo.
Fucking Jim.
Where would you get all the roll I guess Amazon you can get
Filament?
Everything's on Amazon.
Yeah, but
TJ.
bamboo's
Tom.
cheapest right
Hey,
now.
I think you guys are getting too technical for TJ. He doesn't know what
TJ.
the filament is, you know?
TJ,
even if I got a 3D printer, man, my house is so small. Like I don't even know where I'd put the
exactly.
Damn thing.
TJ,
You eat pizza? Do you eat pizza?
Yeah.
Do you put a pizza box on your counter or in your house anywhere?
No, I just put it
no,
on the
no,
counter.
no, no,
Not
no,
with
No,
this
it should
guy.
be-
No, Randy.
Randy,
You
you're
get his
going.
ass kicked.
No, the problem is TJ does have a spare bedroom that is full of junk, and he won't clean it out.
But not
'cause I
just
told him a
that.
long time ago to make a playroom.
What Randy was just about to say is it only takes the space of a pizza box, which means then it'll be like a 3D printer collecting dust when it has no filament. Right?
Yes.
Well, now you need to have shitloads of filament.
I just got
Which-
6 rolls today.
Which TJ, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Although TJ, you do need to clean out that spare room so you have more room for
Yeah.
activity.
TJ, make cleaning out your spare room, make that your hobby.
Don, do you need that buggy?
TJ, master the crayon.
Do you need
TJ?
that buggy?
No, you want to buy it? I'll get
No,
rid of it
but
right now.
Why do you have it?
But TJ,
Oh.
let you master
But
the
that's not
crayon
what you said.
first.
You said, TJ, you need this. And I'm saying, TJ, you don't need it. I'm saying you don't need it.
He needs it to bring more enjoyment
No.
to his life.
We need
And
to
more-
get
more
TJ past
Benjamin.
the crayon phase.
Chuckles has got enough enjoyment in his life. He even says
There's-
it in the
there's
middle,
a difference
middle of the night. He
between-
wakes up laughing.
There's a difference between needs and wants and needs and indulgences. And I wholeheartedly admit this buggy is not practical and it's a waste of time. And if anybody asked me, should I buy a Doom buggy? I would tell them right off the bat, no, don't do it.
But you enjoy it. You like working on it. You enjoy taking the kids on it, right?
No, the kids don't go anywhere on it.
He doesn't even go anywhere on it. It's in the garage 90% of the time.
It is in the garage more than it is out on the road.
So you have it for a reason.
Yeah, but Randy,
Yeah, because I was weak and succumbed to a desire that was unnecessary. I bought it based on emotion and I want ooh, and I should never have done that.
Randy, we need to get TJ past the crayons and eating his fingers first.
I was like,
No, I
put my
told
finger-
TJ a long time ago
Also,
to get that spare room cleaned out because to get him out of the living room so he wasn't bugging his wife.
TJ, do you have your budget in order where you know how much money you can spare on a extra toy?
Kinda.
No,
Kinda.
I guarantee you don't. I've heard you talk.
I just paid my bills
TJ?
I just paid my bills the other day, so I don't know if I have any extra income or not.
Exactly. You don't know. The fact that you don't know means you
Nothing-
don't
nothing
need to
wrong with
spend
it,
the money.
TJ. You're living check to check. You're not living the high.
I'm not telling TJ to buy a printer. I just said if he could, I could see him actually using it.
Doing what?
Because he's asking everybody
Yeah,
all the time to print him stuff that he wants printed. I'm not saying it's a necessity.
And
I'm
it'll
just
bring in
saying-
money. Since I've got my 3D printer,
No way.
I
It's
think
not
bring in
expensive,
money if you
TJ.
do it
It
right.
is a cost. It is a
I
net cost.
paid my
I guarantee you.
I paid my A1 off, and I'm on the way to paying off the H.
I'm gonna be
X1.
honest though, Randy. You're like one of the lucky ones because that market is so diluted.
Yes,
and it's you're not. You really have to come up with prints that nobody else is doing, which is kind of hard because it seems like everybody's thought of everything.
Or prints that nobody else. You got to know people that don't know about that stuff.
Jim says this.
That's what I'm saying. But you've gotten a nice little market started. But I've seen other people that have struggled to try to sell stuff.
Hey, Justin, Jim says this is better than People's Court.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're doing good in it. I mean, I really am. It's just I wouldn't.
If you have some
It's not for
extra,
everybody.
if you have some extra money to go ahead and buy it, you have the space to put it up and do it. Yeah,
And you have the focus to sit down there for hours and figure it out. Yeah.
But I would not sell it as an income. I would sell it as a hobby.
Yeah.
And the very fact that TJ does not know if he's got any cash tells me right off the bat that he doesn't need to be spending money on a 3D printer.
Yeah, I agree. If you don't have
Like
the
not
cash to
right
spare,
now.
I
Not right
wouldn't-
now. Not right now. Anyways.
Not
No.
now, ever.
Even if you got a 3D printer and
I do.
at some point started making money with the 3D printer, that point is down the road. You're going to have a runway to learn the 3D printer, learn the stock, learn everything, because you're going to burn through filament learning.
Exactly.
Right? You're going to burn through a lot.
I've been 3D printing now for 4 years, and I'm still learning.
Yeah, but that's not really a good example because you're simple.
But like I said, it's selling prints is not the easiest thing to do. Because like if you go on Etsy, dude, it's like there's so many people on there selling prints. Facebook, same thing. So many people selling prints. And you kind of, like I said, you kind of have to stick out a little bit because everybody's kind of printing the same shit. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but you do have to definitely stick to it, really work at it. See, right now, Randy's doing good selling to people he knows, but eventually that market's going to dry up.
Hey, TJ,
and he's going to have to find other people.
Rather than getting a 3D printer, what you would be better off doing
is getting some smaller crayons,
getting 3D software, learning how to build the printable models for people who are doing 3D printing. If you can learn how to do that, because that is low entry point, and nobody wants to do that hard part on the back end. They're just going and downloading these files. So you come up with a few interesting files, put them on Etsy for people to download who have printers. You don't have any material costs. You have the initial build exercise, and then you're selling a digital product. If you wanted to get into the 3D printing to make money, that would be.
Like, so, what are you talking about? Like selling like parts or whatever? Or?
No, you sell the models that people are printing.
Hey, Donald, remember you're talking to TJ.
But even
I know who I'm talking to, and I'm telling, I'm saying don't get into any of it. Probably.
Yeah, but even then, that market's hard too because people steal people's prints so
There's
easily
tons
all
of
the time.
programmers out there.
People still print, yeah.
I mean, and you can't sit there and patent every single fucking print you do because you go bankrupt. So
you don't patent prints anyway. You copyright them.
Okay, even then, it's still going to cost you a lot of money to do each one of those.
The only way you can make money today in 3D printing is by selling parts when people come to you and say, I've got this unique item and I need this for it. And you can 3D print that. So like a certain nut and bolt or something like that, or a certain shape cabling or whatever. That's the where money is. Yeah?
I wouldn't look to 3D printing as a money-making idea, even though there are some people who can do it. I would not look at it to be that. If you're getting into 3D printing, you're doing it as a hobby for fun, and that requires that you have.
You can make a few dollars, but let's be honest, if you want to make serious money, you're going to need 6, 7, maybe 8 printers going.
Either that or sell property.
Pack it in, you.
Yeah, I'm jumping off. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see ya.
Bye bye.
It's sell a retail outlet selling printer filament.
Yeah.
But even that ain't gonna make you money. There's so many fucking different filaments out there now.
Well, yeah.
I went on Amazon. There's like 900 different freaking names, and then every one of them looks exactly the same. It's like, sake.
TJ, leave.
No, I'm still here.
All I was saying was, if you're thinking about getting another drone, go with a 3D printer.
Yeah, and TJ doesn't need another drone either.
Yeah, I don't need a drone.
TJ, you can only fly one drone at a time.
Sure.
TJ, if you want to invest some wise money, cookery lessons.
I'm just Mr. TJ doesn't need that tonight, aren't I? TJ doesn't need that.
Yeah, I don't need nothing. I mean, I'd like stuff, but I don't need anything.
Well, that's
Listen to
because
Uncle
your
Don.
mind changes.
Your Uncle Don's not going to steer you wrong here.
Okay.
You got to stay focused on one thing, TJ. You can't say, "Oh, I want to."
Yeah.
Hey, can y'all imagine?
Like a kid in the candy store.
Yeah.
Can y'all imagine Paul's telling that to TJ of him not needing something with all the stuff he buys?
Oh no.
It never opens.
Yeah, if Paul says you don't need it, then that right there tells you.
Yeah. Now, JD, you like you said, you've paid for those printers, but how long you been 3D printing? Yeah. And how good are you with your 3D printers? You're talking TJ having to learn new skills. He gets frustrated at the best of times. Yeah. It's not really for him. It's not even for me. I get stressed out with it.
I'm not saying nobody can do it, but you have to admit that the market is saturated.
Yeah,
if
and
you want to make money at it.
patience. You've got to have patience and skill and know what the hell you're doing.
And that's not everybody.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Looking out my back door.
Let's see. It's Thursday night. Who's on Thursday nights on YouTube?
Art. We'll be on with
the
the three.
political show. And that's pretty much it.
Ray
Sean was on earlier.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Captain Ray
Is it
comes
right?
on in
I don't know.
about
I
18
lose
minutes.
track.
Captain Ray comes
Yeah.
on in 18
Yeah,
minutes.
Ray's on right now. Well, he comes on in a few minutes.
18 minutes.
Yeah, I think it really caused a vacuum when Ken Heron stopped doing his Thursday night. If I had more gumption, I'd do a Mud Balls TNL.
Yeah, you
I
should.
don't have any gumption.
Yeah, and Tommy Jean stopped doing Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And Gary stopped doing Thursday nights.
Yeah, he hasn't been on for a while. I asked when he was going to come back on. I thought they were planning on coming back on
soon, probably
in a bit. Yeah.
Now Friday night's open.
Friday night, you've got Art.
Friday night, no, he moved.
Saturday night, you've got Uncle Bill.
Art moved?
Yeah, he's
Don,
Thursday night.
Jim was making a good point. He was like, if I put away $20 or $30 per week to put away in a piggy bank, don't touch for a couple of years, you'll be amazed at what you have in there. Then you can buy something you need and really want.
Actually, Joe, now moved from his existing fat to
Yeah,
another.
you put $20 back a week, a couple
Just
years,
down
you'll
the
have
corridor from his first
$2,000.
Okay, back on Art. I didn't get it all. I know he was talking about going every other week opposite Johnny.
No, he from Saturday to Friday.
Yeah, he's on Friday, but he
Yeah,
changed name.
Friday.
He also moved from his apartment to another one just down the corridor.
Yeah, he's not moving much, huh?
And that's why Uncle Bill moved from Sunday to Saturday.
Right. But the other night, Art was talking about doing every other Wednesday also that Live for Fun's not on.
Didn't Art switch to Thursday at one point?
No, he's got a Thursday with three conservative gimps.
Yeah, 3 conservative gimps. 3 consecutive gimps sounds funny too, though.
Yeah, that sounds better too.
Who's the other 2 gimps?
I had the con right. I just couldn't keep going.
Lloyd and Charles.
Okay.
You know what's bad about that show though? You can't get a word in because of Charles.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of miss the old days when
hogs the limelight.
I think we all reminisce about the old days.
What, when we didn't have a live stream? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, when we had to, you had live streams, but I liked all. There was a few of us that showed up on Justin's regularly on Friday nights, and that was the general thing. It wasn't about video games; it was just showing up and just bullshitting. And it was kind of fun.
I used to come to Justin's when I got back editing.
Well,
I sent a message to Tammy Jean just the other day because it's like just to.
Yeah, I
wonder
how those guys are doing.
I don't know. I just sent a message to her the other day telling her that I was thinking about her and that it's been like 6 months since she stopped.
Oh, you did text her and told her that?
I just said hi.
Well, it's been like a year.
Thinking about you.
She stopped like last May and then came back for like 2 shows in like September.
In October, yeah.
And then stopped.
October.
Yeah.
And then left again.
Oh.
Did you see in the chat? Digital Demon is you know who.
Yeah.
And he put a link in
Female version of Randy.
I don't see it.
Let's see.
Look at you.
What a point. What a point.
That's just wrong.
She looks like a
Yeah,
rabbit.
very wrong.
And I don't have brown eyes or blue hair.
Not yet.
Anything's possible. She looks like a meth head, Justin. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of lets you know what Justin's thinking of you.
So RJ is Ron Johnson, right? Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going fly a sunset tonight.
Well, I'm getting ready. I'm planning on going and getting the Viking coming up.
I'm sorry, Randy. I get, hey, Don looks like Bill Pullman today. Some movie star actor, and you get
Meth
Randy
head
looks like
Terry.
a meth head, blue-haired chick.
That's messed up. How you going? How you
Yeah,
do
but
me
you
like
gotta-
that, Justin?
You got to consider the source.
Yeah, right.
So is that guy like he's a British comedian or something?
Randy, I'd start getting very worried.
We already said who he was. TJ.
That's right. Yeah.
What was that, Mark?
That Bowman guy.
I'd be getting very worried if that's the way Justin sees you.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
What's that movie where the kids are walking down the tracks and they find the dead body?
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Justin looks like the little boy from Stand By Me.
Yep.
You're thinking
Is it a dead body?
Not the well, I don't know. He might look like the dead body, but
You're thinking about the pudgy kid?
yeah, the pudgy kid.
Yeah, but he lost weight. He later went on star in Sliders. Joe's Apartment.
Was
What's
that
his
the kid?
name?
He was the kid from Stand By Me, the guy from Joe's apartment?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he does. He's been on like a daytime talk show too. What is his name?
I'm looking him up right now. I want to see what he looks like now.
Oh yeah, he looks great. And he had issues for a long time because he was referred to as the fat kid from Stand By Me, and it really messed with his head being called the fat kid.
I learned an interesting fact that I didn't know the other day about Wednesday. You know
That's the day after Tuesday.
in the series that they've got out at the moment.
Haven't seen it.
Well, they've not got the new one out, but they've
Haven't
done.
seen the first on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
there is one person at that school who is not a supernatural or a demon. She's a proper human.
Okay.
Hey, Joe,
She is the botany teacher.
I'm going to make you the host. I'm going to go catch that chip.
I'm gonna get off in a
Go
minute.
for it.
And the interesting fact is, she is the girl that played Wednesday in the 90s film.
Oh, okay.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
Sorry,
series,
man.
but yeah, Christina Ricci played the Wednesday Addams in the movies.
Yeah, she also plays the botany teacher in the new Wednesday series.
I just now found out Jerry O'Connell was the little fat
Jerry
kid.
O'Connell.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
He definitely don't look like him now.
Well, the problem is he was overshadowed by River Phoenix in that
do you
movie,
want to
as far as being,
upstage him?
because he was really good in that movie. He was good. Will Wheaton was pretty good, but Jerry O'Connell
go ahead, you
is
can do it.
overlooked and Stand By Me.
What's that?
Make me the host. Go ahead.
Okay.
He was excellent, but Stand By Me. I live for River Phoenix's speech about where he says he just wants to go somewhere where no one knows who he is, and I felt that so hard as a kid. I just wanted to go somewhere where I could just start fresh. No one knew who I was. That was a great speech.
Yeah.
Hey, Dominic, what's the new channel name you want? Paul gave me hope.
You've only got access to Zoom.
Yeah.
You can't change anything else.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell and Joe's Apartment was the very first movie produced by MTV, and I loved that movie. Everybody else hated it, but it was a great, just super fun flick.
I've seen it, but I don't really remember it. I know
It's
there's a lot
the
of
one where he moves
cockroaches.
in. He gets an apartment that is rent controlled because this old lady dies in front of him, and he pretends it was his grandmother. And when he moves in, it's inhabited by roaches, and the roaches talk to him, and the roaches become his friend. So he's
Must be Louisiana
movie,
roaches.
him being friends with cockroaches.
Got a question now. Did he have a burger van? Sandwich truck? And was he Mexican?
Oh, like a food truck? Oh, because of the cockroaches comment?
Yeah. I'm just asking for TJ.
Say what now? Sorry, I got
What?
sidetracked. I got
It's
sidetracked for a moment.
It's a comedy tool called a callback.
Okay, Jim.
And David was making a callback to your comment about cockroaches and food trucks. Well, actually, it was Justin's comment about cockroaches and food trucks. TJ took it to a different level.
Oh yeah, when we were talking, that whole thing.
Well, if it was a Thai food truck, then they could well have had deep fried cockroaches.
Mm. I think Thai food and Thai restaurants are pretty creative in the way they actually name their restaurant. Because I actually saw one called Bow Tie. I've also seen one, Titanic.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
If they served alcohol, they could say tie one on.
Yeah. It's more of a Taiwanese restaurant.
Oh yeah, tie one on.
I'm really kicking myself in the ass for not cashing in on my Care Refresh before it went up. Like it was for the Air 3, it was $89 for the replacement. Now it's $189.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I think the Care Refresh 2-year plan for the Mavic 4 is like $600.
Mm.
You're better off just getting it insured like Captain does.
Mm.
I'll be back.
See you
All
soon.
right. Have fun.
Paul needs an Air 3S.
Well, I'm gonna head over. I'm gonna head over to raise y'all. I'll see y'all in the
Okay.
morning. And Don, if I ever get a wild, if I get a wild hair about buying something, I'm gonna come to you and say, Don, I'm thinking about buying this. What do you think?
And Uncle Don's gonna say, TJ, you don't need it.
Okay. I
The voice
appreciate
of reason.
it. We'll see y'all in the morning.
All right, T. I'm gonna have to go here soon. I gotta give the gremlins
Yeah.
a bath.
Tune
Oh,
into
no.
my new channel, Uncle Don's Advice. Uncle Don's Life Advice.
Well, what I always do is, if I want something and I really want to buy it, I'll stop, think about it for a week, and if you still want it a week later, then get it.
I have held off on buying the X5 since it was announced, the 360 camera.
Yep.
Right.
Randy,
When it first came
a lot of
out,
money.
I wanted it. I even drove over to Best Buy last week and walked in and looked at it and walked away. It's like, if I buy it, it's going to be because I think I'll really use it.
Right. Don't buy it just because you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think I'm going to use it, so I think I'm going to buy it. As soon as this box gets put back into the buggy and I get new wheels for it, I mean, putting some hours on this buggy. And if I want to make videos of me driving the Doom buggy, where normally I take my GoPro and I'll switch it to a couple different locations, take a couple different angles, I can put the 360 up and have basically reframe and have 2 or 3 different angles in one single shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Them 360 cameras are definitely cool. I like how Lance does his flights where the user can pan around and look at the 360 view while he's flying. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got where I flew the Fusion, or I flew the Fusion. I put the Fusion in the basically right about the passenger seat in the buggy, and I've got on my YouTube channel drive around the Carthage Square, where it's a 360 video like that, where you're basically sitting in the passenger seat and doing a drive around in the buggy. But those, they're kind of like roller coaster rides. If they last more than 2 minutes, you've overstayed your welcome.
Right.
And you better be showing an interesting landscape that you can look around and be getting something out of. Because
now, what's the file size like on those videos? I mean, they got to be pretty hefty, right?
Not really.
they are, it was a 5K video from the Fusion. The new X5 that's outputting an 8K video, and so
So it'd be like a 1-2 gig video. Like,
Depends on how long it was,
uh,
and depends on if you're compressing it. But the big thing is if you're going to be doing any editing on it, you have to have something that can edit it. But the new software that comes with the X5 or that you download that is the companion software for the X5. You're supposed to be able to do a lot of reframing stuff within the software
that's the one of
and
the
doing
main.
the stitching and stuff.
All right, that's one of the main reasons I haven't gotten a 360 camera is because of that. I hear it's a nightmare to edit.
It is kind of a nightmare to edit. I've done some actual external editing of it in Premiere, and Premiere's okay, and it's okay about setting keyframes. The problem with the Fusion was that it would drift a lot. So when it was stitching and stuff, you'd bring this video file in. Well, the entire scene would drift. So if I had it strapped in here, the entire thing would drift as I was turning corners and stuff. And so it made keyframing a pain in the ass. But with the new 360 from the Insta360 software, I don't know if it's just for the X5 or if it also applies to X4, but their new tracking and their stitching software, their new tracking is amazing. Apparently you can just select where you want to stabilize that and you are stable on it.
That's cool.
And do your reframing.
But 360 is old school now. I mean, I've got 360 videos that are over 5 years old.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The problem is, since I put that video up, nothing's changed. We still can only upload to Facebook or to YouTube. There's nowhere else. Yeah. And, you know, like Donald said, anything over a certain length, people are just bored with.
Yeah, but that's if you're using it just for 360. If you're using it for reframing purposes, I wouldn't use it as my main camera, but for getting different shots where you can reframe and just cut into different shots, do insert shots, and get it in one take rather than multiple stops and resetting the camera. That'd be kind of cool.
What I really want is an Action 5 Pro. Because I have an Action 3 now, and I mean, even just a little bit of low light, it's just, I mean, the ISO kicks up and it gets grainy as hell.
Yep. Well, that's a limitation with action cams in general.
Right.
I mean, I've got the GoPro 10, and it's okay. And this new X5 is supposed to have some new. It's got a couple chips on it that are dedicated for processing for low light.
Have you seen the low light on the Action 5 Pro?
I have not.
It's pretty damn awesome. Pretty awesome. Dobo did some shorts, I guess. I think Facebook Reels of some low light, and it's pretty awesome. I'm sure he tweaked it a little bit though, but
you know we've all got a 360 camera with us right now, don't you?
Your cell phone?
Yep.
My cell phone is not 360.
Yes, it is. All cell phones are, because the software that you can use both cameras and the processing.
You can use both cameras, but you can't stitch in the middle. The lenses on mine aren't wide enough to stitch in the middle.
How about your bloody phone?
But my camera is still on the iPhone 11.
Well, we've all moved on with the times.
Yeah.
I don't upgrade until I have to.
Yep, I only use an iPhone 11 as well.
Before the iPhone 11, I was still using the iPhone 5.
Doesn't the iPhone 11 not get the new software though?
Yeah,
no, it's still upgrading. When it when it stops upgrading, then I'll probably upgrade to something different.
Yeah. When I thought they would have stopped by now because they stopped the 10, and the 10 stopped a few years ago.
The 11's
I'm
only,
sure there's certain features that aren't available on the iPhone 11.
the 11's only 4 years old.
Is it?
Hmm.
Put it on the iPhone 16.
Yep.
That's the problem. The release dates on these phones are way too rapid. I'm not going to go out and get a new phone every time they upgrade it.
New one every year.
Yeah.
Every 2
Every
years.
2 I could go with.
Mine's every 2 years because of my contract, but
Well, that's when you can renew it. That's not when they bring a new phone out.
no, but I can renew it today. I can actually renew my phone today if I wanted. Just have to go on EE's website, put the IME number in, and say,
Well, I could go get a new phone if I wanted to.
no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about for free. I can literally just
No, you're paying
website.
for it. You're paying for it.
All I'm doing is signing up into a new 2-year contract.
Yeah, my
But you're
contract.
paying for it within the contract. It might not be
There is a subsidy,
overt, but you are paying
Oh
for
yeah,
I
I
get
get
you.
that. But what I'm saying is, if I wanted to upgrade today, I can, and keep the same price that I'm currently paying for the latest phone.
So you're getting screwed right now.
My,
No.
my contract ran out 12 months ago.
Yeah, same here.
And
So
the reason I'm not getting
Yeah,
screwed
so-
now is because I get staff discount, even though I don't work for them.
I just realized Justin left.
Yeah.
You left ages ago.
Like I said, I just realized it.
Good 15 minutes.
That's is that because you switch off to what he's talking about?
Yeah. That's what he does. That's how he does me. Talk shit and then run.
I think he's playing Fortnite. I can't see him being over at Laura's.
I'm thinking about going up and getting schnockered tonight.
Oh,
Are you-
go for it.
A tumbler full of that maple whiskey. And it's not as good as a peanut butter whiskey, but I'm thinking about going up and getting me another one.
It is Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
I think this welting is going on pretty good. And so I think I should have the welting on by the end of the night tonight.
Well, I'm up early in the morning. I've got an argument with a GP.
Uh-oh.
I want to find out why they think that my faulty liver function is expected and why I shouldn't worry about it. Because it wasn't fucking expected to me.
Hey, check out my little benchy rack.
Oh, I actually made something like that for Laura's Harry Potter Kinder toys. I
like those better than the color swatches.
Yeah, you know the
Uh-oh, girl. Why are you limping?
yeah, the Kinder animals. I'm actually 3D printing a clear glass one for the fish, and then the next level up is going to be like sand, and then the next level up is going to be grass. So I could put all the animals out on display.
Okay.
I've designed that myself. I just haven't picked up the courage to print it because I designed it.
I want to make that light up Zelda sword.
Well, there's lots of things I want to make, but
Yeah, me too. And I want to make a Gandalf staff out of PLA wood.
Like Lloyd did.
Yeah. Did Lloyd make it out of actual PLA wood?
I'm not sure what he
no,
did.
I think he used TPU, didn't he?
TPU.
No, it might what? It'd be PLA.
Yeah, PLA.
He used yeah, a really tough PLA.
Hey, Randy, how much support do you had to do for that birdhouse?
None.
None?
No supports. You can use supports. Like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Like, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
See, that's where your money is. Things,
This one actually-
novelty things like that, you could sell them on markets pretty easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing.
This one, the brown one, is a little bit rougher than the red one. But, I mean, I think it adds character to it. You really can't.
Oh, yeah. But the question is, well,
Yeah, no support.
How much would that cost to print? Your electric and your filament.
Well, it's about 400 grams of filament total. Because it's 200 for the. Hold on, I'll show you the actual house part. This is the insert, which is actually the inside of the house.
Yeah.
This is 200 grams.
Right.
And then between the front door, the perch, and the roof is about 120, I think, 130.
Yeah.
And the roof takes. I printed the roof with the front door and inside the roof. Took about 2.5 hours. But this part here takes about 4.5, 5 hours to print. So 5, 6, 7, about 7.5, 8 hours total.
So what we're talking about, $20 to print?
I wouldn't even say that much.
When you consider your time and everything else.
Yeah, I charge 30 a piece for them.
It's not bad. That's not bad.
No,
That's not bad.
I think it's reasonable.
I did like the darker roof because it did have a natural. You know where all the little
this one here?
Is that the rough one?
Oh,
No,
no, this,
that one.
That
I
this
like
is
that one better.
this is actually a terracotta TPU.
Yeah,
Or not
but
TPU, PLA.
is that the one where the tiles look broken?
Yeah.
Well,
Is that the print that the tiles look broken, or was that a fault with the print? Your print.
well,
The
what do you-
roughness, what the roughness, is that on the print?
yes, that's the shingles are on the print.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because it does look more natural like that.
Yeah, I like it. It looks like a cedar shake roof.
You see now, if you can get one of those cameras, yeah, with night vision on, and put it in that,
That would be
sell.
cool.
You could sell for $80, but also, you know the blue bit, yeah.
Yeah.
If you print that with glow in the dark filament,
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But then the whole inside of it, because this right here is the trim. The roof goes over top of it, and all you're seeing is the front trim. So, I mean, would the whole thing inside glow too, or would it have to
more
get
or
charged?
less.
It would have to get
If
charged
it
up,
gets, because you're going to put it out in the sun, aren't you?
right? Would the whole thing charge up just from the front trim?
Well, enough of it to glow inside, yeah.
That would be cool, because then you would see the light. You would see it glowing through the shingles.
Yeah, and then you've got with a camera in there as well. You give access to people being able to watch the chicks as they grow
That's a good idea.
without disturbing them.
There's a lot of
Hey,
other
did you-
cool birdhouses, but this one, is the most practical in my opinion, and it's the least amount of work after you print because it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. The perch just screws in, and the front door you can pop this off.
Now with the perch itself, I would actually go out and use natural wood.
I just saw what you call it's drone flyby.
Yeah, and
Paul's drone.
Donald Geechee said, "Have a drink for her."
He's about even with the bridge. No. Stop
Yeah,
walking
see,
at
the
me.
I just
front
say,
pops off.
Gitchy, I already had yours earlier. I'm on mine now. So you missed yours.
Hey,
Yeah.
Don, I was going to get bird dog today and I forgot all about it.
Yep. Randy, the perch itself, yeah, just for the slit purposes with the chicks and stuff, I would use natural wood. Just go out and get some natural branches and cut them down.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can
And it would-
probably
it would-
whittle it down and just
Yeah.
pressure fit it in there.
Yeah, and it would save you a lot of filament.
Oh,
That's a good idea. That would even add some like authenticity to it.
Yeah.
well,
Well,
if you made the entire thing out of wood.
That's too much work. That's too much work. With this, I just throw a little super glue, on the house, and then slide it on and throw a couple bands around it, and that's all she wrote.
Bad Geechee. Take your meds. I'm guessing opioids are medication.
What do you need opioids for?
Opioids are opium.
Why you need that?
She's been a lot of
What did you
pain
do?
lately.
Painkillers.
Paying for what?
Wait, she has opioids that she's supposed to take, but she's not. If you have opioids that you're allowed to take, why aren't you taking them?
Mm-hmm.
Don't take them.
Well,
Don't take them. Drink some peanut butter whiskey.
Take some
that,
ibuprofen.
that depends. That depends. Opioids make you feel very warm. But that's the problem. They do feel very good.
Yeah, but then when you don't have them, they make you feel like death.
True.
If a doctor prescribes you a 30-day supply, don't take them.
When I had my knee done, before I had my knee done, I was having so much problems with it.
If your doctor prescribes you a 30-day supply, take them for the first couple days, then switch over to ibuprofen.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then you have the rest of the 30-day supply for happy Friday nights for the rest of the year.
Yeah, if you take them one night a week, you'll be all right. But if you take them every day, then you won't have a problem.
Yeah, I was getting Norco. It was 10 something. I can't remember the exact. It's been so long. I can't remember the dosage, but it was a pretty good dosage. Put it like this, you felt it, and he was giving me like 15, 20 at a time, and my knee wasn't getting any better. So he said, "Look, I'm gonna cut you off of that. Try Motrin, try 800 Motrin."
She's got a 60-day supply, Donald, so she's got 2 years worth.
Well, he told me he couldn't give me any more.
Right.
So what wound up happening is I went to the oncologist, and the oncologist says to me, "You in any pain?" I said, "Yeah, my knee's killing me." He took me off the Norco. She said, "What were you giving you?" And I told her. She goes, "I got it." She gave me 90 pills. I said, "Why are you giving me 90?" She goes, "Because I can. Because you're a cancer patient. They won't ask." She goes, "Just don't use them crazy." I had them locked in my safe.
David, that doesn't mean that she has enough for 2 years. That means that she has enough for a co-pilot every Friday night.
Yeah.
How there is that?
That's the only thing better is having a friend hang out with you. And
I'd rather have a Xanax.
You telling me Gitchy and co-pilots? Oh, come on.
Xanax does nothing.
Yeah, I'd take a Xanax over an opioid.
Yeah, don't worry, Donald. I got it.
Xanax makes you hallucinate shit.
Well,
There's a
hey, don't
reason
tell
why
about Xanax.
when people go to sleep, a little butterfly comes flying in the commercial because you see shit on Xanax.
Xanax or erasers. That's what they call the erasers.
Xanax are mind erasers.
Yeah. I was actually working at the baby store and I was taking Xanax and they told me they asked me if I was okay because I was walking and bumping into all the cribs going to the back. And I don't remember that. I don't remember it, right?
Yeah.
But
No,
this is the
they're
best
mind
part.
erasers.
Yeah,
The
Xanax is
best-
when you wake up at Taco Bell and you're like, shit, what time is it?
But let me tell you
I
what
was
the
at
best
home
part
last
is.
time I remember.
So it was a Sunday, and when this happened, they asked me if I was okay, and I don't remember them even asking me that, right? But they let me leave and drive home, which was like 30 miles away.
Well,
And
that's
I
the
don't
problem.
ever remember leaving the store. All I remember sitting there and I said,
Well,
when did
that's
I
the
get home?
problem. Xanax doesn't make you act stupid. It just erases all memory. And
I
so
actually said that. When
to
did I get
them,
home?
they're probably just like, okay, you're okay. Just go home. You're kind of out of it, but you're okay.
Yeah, I got home and I said, what day is it and when did I get home? Because I was in my uniform for a baby store. And I said, what's the day? And they said Sunday. I said, well, when did I get home? Did I go to work? That's how bad that stuff was. I stopped taking it right then.
Yeah.
So I drove 30 miles without even remembering it.
I make jokes about drug use, but I'm not curious about any. I probably wouldn't. If I had opioids
Don't give me that last
available,
word.
I probably
I said
wouldn't
no.
take it. They are nice, but
We'll drink some dish.
I probably
or
wouldn't
eat
take
some
them.
of your
I'd
food.
probably just grab me a
Just
bottle of something,
No, I'm not being
do a little bit of alcohol.
trying to
The
make
only
you
drug
lose a
I'm
little
still
bit of weight
curious
so you don't
about
get
is
sick.
mushrooms or some
I
sort of
love you too much.
hallucinogen.
I want you around.
Never-
I've never done a
Think I want you.
hallucinogenic.
I've never taken
And when I
mushrooms.
take it to the vet next week, they're going to say, "But do something about it. She fat." Oh, they're going to tell you that. Having a long discussion with the dog.
I keep making promises with my sister-in-law that we're gonna get some shrooms and do them together, but
Do LSD.
Good luck finding it. Probably be
I got to
fentanyl.
bring Cleo to the vet next week, and I really don't want to because they're going to tell me she's overweight, and I already know it. And
go to Colorado. They decriminalized hallucinogens, didn't they? Mushrooms.
yeah, look at our show.
Mushrooms are the only thing you can trust because, I mean, like anything that's a chemical, you can't trust.
Yeah.
It. Basically, marijuana sometimes and mushrooms.
I have tried a gummy once, and it must have been a low dose because it didn't even touch me. Now, my nephew let me take a hit off of his vape, which was THC. And here's the thing. You smoke a joint and you can feel it in your throat because it's that harsh smoke. You feel it in your throat, and that's what I was used to. A vape, you don't feel it in your throat. You don't feel it until you exhale.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you
so
don't have
I was
big of a
taking this
hit you're
hit
taking.
off this vape, and I'm like, I don't think I'm getting anything. So I took like a crazy intense hit off this vape. And when I breathed out, it felt like somebody hit me in the chest with a sledgehammer.
Oh, you were probably smashed off of that.
And that was at that 4th of July party.
Yeah, that original gummy was a jelly baby.
Anyway, it was at one of our pool parties, and actually, no, that was a year I got downsized. So I was like, you know what? I don't have a drug test. Give me a hit. And I took a hit, and I sat there in the pool for the rest of the night, just like I did not like it. My thoughts felt so. Pot makes me feel like all my thoughts are in their own separate cars in a train, and to rebuild a conversation, I have to stop and try and walk through all these different train cars to find out what I was talking about. I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either. I smoked for almost 20 years straight every day. And then about 6 years ago, I just quit, and I can't smoke it anymore. It just messes me up.
I smoked in the 90s. I smoked quite regularly in the 90s, but then one night I was sitting around with my friends. I was like, would I be hanging out with these people if it wasn't for the fact that we were all smoking weed? And I was like, no.
No.
I quit that night and never smoked again until just what, a year and a half ago? And took that one hit, and then I was like, nope.
And the weed nowadays
sucks.
isn't like the weed from 20 years
Oh,
ago.
it's not. Oh, it is not.
No.
Well,
It's
at
like-
least that vape was intense
Yeah. It's like
compared to
super
what I
cheap.
knew.
Well, fellas,
But-
I'm gonna have to get off of here. I gotta go give my gremlins a bath. Unfortunately.
No.
But I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
I need to go check, see what
Oh, you're right
seasoning we have. My wife is asking questions. Way back.
All right, I'll see you guys.
All right, bye. Poor Randy looks like a meth head chick with blue hair.
Yeah.
The second he leaves, it's like, let's trash talk him.
Yep. And on that note, I'm out.
All right, what do we have?
Pack it in then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any.
Joe, it's over to you
I don't see any.
as the host. You're muted, by the way.
Said Paul's taking a long time getting back.
I don't know what we're doing for dinner.
I was watching the big screen over here with the ship, and he was even with the bridge going around. He was pretty close to the ship too.
Yeah, he's probably the drone's probably on the ship.
He keeps getting closer to these ships.
Yeah.
Catch you later, Gitch. You have a good one.
He might be buying
Good
an Air 3S soon.
Yep.
I'll sell him an Air 2S.
See you tomorrow, guys.
See ya.
Later, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't either, but it's funny. I don't see the resemblance either, but it's funny.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing a donut run because he probably has everything he needed.
And yes, Russell, that does not mean you're gay. That means you're curious, and I can help you solve that curiosity.
Yeah, I want to go do a sunset, but then I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to put that drone up right now with all the birds at night. I'm going to wait till I got a good day to fly it.
Yep.
You got lots of birds, Joe?
Well, they have the
Hey,
swallows
Paul's back.
right now. At sunset,
He's
a
back.
whole bunch of swallows.
Means he didn't crash. That's good.
No, I did not crash. That is really good,
That's good.
especially after flying this baby in the rain the other day.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot how small Air 2S is flying it all those times until I got the Mavic 3 back and put it next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put that-
I gave my I had the Mini 1. I gave that to my dad,
Yeah.
and I've been flying the Air 3S, and I have not flown the Phantom 4 since they laid me off or downsized me. And then going back to that little Mini, Well, first
Yeah.
off, flying the Air 3S, it's like a Ferrari. It is
Yeah.
beautiful. It handles beautifully. I love that drone. As
Yeah.
far as video,
I
I have not taken enough video from it to really judge it on video, but it flies
I,
beautiful.
I was amazed at the size difference between the Mini and the Mavic 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That blew me away. And then when you
But-
fly the Mavic 3 for a while, and then you hold the Mini and you go, shit, I don't remember.
I
flying
went over to
this
my
thing."
dad's to give him the Mini
Yeah.
and put it in the air for him. And it's like, this little thing, this is such a toy. How is this even possible? But that makes it that much more. And I'm flying the Mini 1.
The
It
contrast
makes
of
it
it.
that much more of an amazing drone that it was still a capable drone.
Yeah.
And it feels so much like a toy.
Yeah. Not so much for the Neo, huh?
I've never flown the Neo.
Well, you're lucky. So let me ask you, ever flew a Mavic 3?
Do what?
You ever flew a Mavic 3?
I haven't. No, I flew the 2.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, the
the
Mavic
2,
3
is big.
And then I flew the Phantom 4. I have not flown a lot of drones. It's just a few drones. Before this Air 3S, which I would say is comparable as far as airframe to the Mavic 2.
Well,
Maybe
I'll
a
tell
little
you,
better.
the Mavic 3, all the times I was flying it, Johnny got the Air 3S, and
Mhm.
he handed me the control, and I was flying the Air 3S, and I told him, I looked straight at him, I said, if I didn't know any better, I think I'm flying a Mavic 3.
Uh-huh.
That's what it felt like.
This Air 3S.
That's
I
why
was
I'm
gonna say it's
really thinking about
comparable to
pulling
the
trigger.
Mavic Pro 2 that I flew. And it was a nice drone at the time. I was flying at that time. I was flying the Phantom, and we had rented the Mavic 2 just for this one shoot, and it was an interesting drone to fly. It was not. It didn't feel quite as stable as the Phantom 4, in my opinion. And I love the Phantom 4, just because, as far as a pedestal, as a camera that you put it on this thing, you put it in place, and it's stable, and it's there where you're at. Great drone, but maneuverability and getting places. This Air 3S, it's like a Ferrari.
Yeah,
You can move it wherever you
some
want.
Phantom 4s, good prices around here.
Well,
You know,
they had them up for bid when they shut down the office the other day,
yeah.
and they were surprised because I didn't bid on them. It's like, I've got the Air 3S. I would, if I brought that Phantom 4 home, I would never fly it.
Yep. Here's one right here in Baton Rouge, not that far from me. Phantom 4, hard case, 3 batteries.
Is
What
that
else
the
is
Phantom
there?
4 or the Phantom 4 Pro?
It's just Phantom 4.
Okay.
550 he wants for it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And that's probably that's probably a decent price for those.
Yeah, I'm
You don't know
looking for
how
a
many
Pro.
cycles those batteries have been through. But really, are you going to fly it when you have
Yeah, that's
something
the
better
thing.
in your hand?
Now they have a Phantom 3 Pro with 3 batteries, and they want $350 for it.
Now, I do regret I did not bring home the Phantom. We had a Phantom there at the office. The Phantom, the very first Phantom, the one that you did not have a camera on or a gimbal. You strapped a GoPro to it, hit record, and hoped for the best. And your range on it was basically you could have been flying Wi-Fi. It was, the range on it was horrible. But I almost bought it just for the novelty of it. And I thought, man, the only reason I'd be buying this, or only reason I'd be taking it, was to be able to pull it out around drone people and be like, for nerd cred. So it's like, I would be taking this drone and storing it in my house just so I could pull it out for 5 seconds of, ooh, oh my gosh, you still have one of those? And it wasn't. I was like, I don't want to store it for just 5 minutes of novelty.
Here you go. Phantom 4 Pro,
Mhm.
2 batteries. It says like new. Got he said you can come and test it. $550.
You know, if it had the other controller that had the built-in screen. Actually,
Yeah,
that was
probably
Phantom 4
think
Pro
about
that had the built-in screen, wasn't it? Did the Phantom 4 have the built-in screen? Did they come with the option for the?
I think only with the Pro.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
I
If
think
I
so
can find
too.
with the built-in screen, I think about it.
That's Phantom 4. Yeah, it's. But I wouldn't because like I said, the Air 3S.
Yeah.
It as far as flyability and how it feels in the air, as far as would I trust it? Yeah, it blows it out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole bottom line is I'd buy it for the novelty just because of how it was a unique drone and the nostalgia of it.
Well, yeah, and that's what I said. The original Phantom, I would have been taking it home just for the novelty of it, and I couldn't see storing something just for a novelty of being able to pull it out. If I ever go to a drone meet,
Yeah.
you keep talking about I'm going to go to one, but I never do. Nobody really wants to meet me anyway.
And they got one here. Yeah, it doesn't say it's got the screen though. See, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries. And it's a 4 Pro.
Yeah.
It said it's a 2021 DJI Phantom 4 Pro. Doesn't say whether it has the batteries. I mean, what you call it? Screen doesn't look like it, but he wants 1,000 for that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's not that far from it. If it had the screen, I'd see 700 maybe. See if we go 700.
Depends on how many cycles are on those batteries.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It's nice having a lot of batteries, but depends on. I know that the ones at work that were gotten rid of, I had put those through the ringer, and they were getting close to end of life on those batteries. And I know that I was like, that was another reason I didn't put a bid on them. I'm like, those batteries aren't going to last very many more flights. And then I'm going to be replacing those for a good chunk of change.
Now they got one here, catches your eye. It says the guy's in Chesterfield, Missouri. Okay? Catches your eye real quick. It's got the screen, got everything. Well, $455. That's the key right there. It tells you to go away. And then when you go to the site, you join Facebook in 2024. It says ships to you for free. So that's a scam.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. And that's got 3 batteries and the one with the screen.
For how much?
$455. The number is what always is the scam number. Because they're always 465, 455, 485, something like that. It's like the ones that are scamming it know not to touch it, Now here's one with the screen. This was listed.
Damn it. Now I want to go out and fly that Air 3S, but I've been drinking, so I'm not going to do it.
Why not?
Can't.
I need to stay sober tomorrow night so I can go fly.
Okay, you ready for this? In Baton Rouge, which is only an hour from me, right? Listed
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. $450. It's got 3 batteries and the screen. And the controller with the screen. $450. And he said it's a girl selling it. She's been on Facebook since. Hey, I might just go see the girl.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hold on a minute.
That's how they hook you. Hey, Joe, where did you say you were at?
Mandeville, Louisiana. Here's the girl.
Manderville, that's right.
I might
Yeah,
give.
right.
I might just go give her $450. What you talking about?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
No, that's her site. Look,
That's not
look.
her.
Watch.
You
That's
and
her
I
pictures.
really are going to be close when it comes to my vacation, aren't we?
She just posted yesterday these pictures right here.
You and I are going to be 3 hours apart. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're close. But this is it right here. It's got the screen. There's a screen. That's it, $450. I might ask if it's still available, just to see.
Gulfport would be a good place halfway. Where's Johnny at?
Johnny's Hammond, Louisiana, which is about 20 minutes west of me.
Yeah.
But the original Phantom didn't have a camera, did it?
Yeah,
this is-
I probably need to meet Lloyd before I meet you guys. Lloyd is so close. Lloyd is so close to me. He's over in Oklahoma, and we
Yeah.
still haven't met. I need to arrange something. I haven't talked to him for a while.
Yeah,
Lloyd's a good guy.
Lloyd's awesome. I need to arrange a meetup with him.
He's in Muskogee, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
How close is that to you, Don?
It's only a few hours from me.
Yeah, I sent a message asking if it's still available just to see. Because if I tell you what, that wouldn't be a bad price if it's, because I can't tell what it is.
If
but I bet you it's
if it is legit, that's not a bad price. But once again,
what's the price?
Would you fly?
$450. Got the screen on the controller.
And that's the Air 3S?
No, that's the Pro. Mavic 4 Pro.
Yeah, that's Mavic 4 Pro.
4 Pro. Oh, wow. That's a good
The-
price.
Or the Phantom 4 Pro, yeah.
The Phantom 4 Pro. Phantom 4.
Which, if I had known that you wanted a Phantom 4 Pro, I could have probably gotten you one for $100.
Damn.
Yeah, but I knew that I would not be flying it if I put a bid on it, so I didn't put a bid on it.
Do they still have it?
Nope, someone else bid on it. But I could have probably gotten Phantom 4. Actually, there was two of them up for bid. One of them I did not like the gimbal on. The return on the gimbal was going out, the return motor. So when you did a quick pan, it would not return to horizon level. And so you would have had to been doing some replacement on the gimbal. But the other one was rock solid.
Cool.
But I had the Air 3S now, and it's just like, I'm not going to fly it. And
You
yeah,
have
I could
Air
have bought
3S?
it and turned around and sold it, but do what?
You sold the Air 3S?
No, I still have it. And that's because I had the Air 3S, I could not justify putting a bid on the Air or on the Phantom 4 Pro.
Yeah.
So how much have you got into the Air 3S?
I've flown it a bit and I love the way it flies. I have not shot enough on it to actually say how much I like the camera. The little bit I've shot, I like the camera or the cameras, but the way it flies, oh my gosh, compared to the Phantom 4, it is a dream to fly. It is a great flying drone.
Joe, you have an Air 3S, don't you?
No.
Not yet.
Air 2S.
Well, Don will make you a deal.
No, he won't.
I'm not selling my drone. Fuck you, Paul.
You just said you don't ever plan on flying it.
I did not say that.
He did
I said I have not shot enough on it to say, hey, how good it's doing. I said I would not buy the Phantom 4 Pro because I can't justify having it.
My apologies, because that's not what I heard. But then again, yeah, I'm an old man, you know.
The Air 3S. I want to get out and fly that Air 3S more than I have. I was just talking about the drone has made me want to go out and put it in the air. But I've been drinking, so I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be irresponsible. And so I'm going to have to stay sober tomorrow night and put it up in the air. I'm thinking about taking it down to Florida with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just be careful with the Blue Angels and all that.
Yeah, that's a problem with Pensacola. It's Blue Angels fly through. I'm gonna have to check out TFR and make sure I'm clear. There, if you look at the air map, it shows the entire Pensacola Beach. The entire thing is part of the the Gulf Shores Wildlife, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a national reserve type thing. You can't fly there.
Right.
But the air map like that you go to is incorrect. In town, inside Pensacola, where like say the water tower that done up like a beach ball, that area is not part of that national park. So you can fly there. As long as you obey FAA regulations. So I need to make sure I check my TFRs, make sure that everything's clear. And the problem is I'm deciding whether or not to take it down, because if I take it down, it's only going to be for a couple shots. One is just a quick orbit of the beach ball, Pensacola. When you go to Pensacola Beach, you see that beach ball water tower. It's an icon. Getting a shot of that. That might be something I get.
Then you got to worry about where the drone's at when you're not around. You know.
We have an Airbnb, so it's not in a hotel room with people walking in and out.
So that'd be better.
So I'm not quite as concerned about that. Airbnbs I trust a little more, that people aren't coming in and out of. So
yeah, that's a better deal.
Yeah, I probably, if it was a hotel we're staying at, I probably wouldn't take it. But the only thing I'm thinking about is like, am I going to haul the drone down there for one, maybe two shots?
Yeah, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the air.
Well, we're also going out on a sailboat, and it'd be cool to get some shots of a sailboat sailing in Pensacola Bay. The problem is telling the captain of the sailboat, okay, hit the brakes, I need to catch the drone. And would it contribute? I have shots from the last vacation we took down there. I've got the entire video done from sailboat that was shot entirely on the iPhone.
Yeah.
And the drone shot might contribute just maybe a 1% improvement to that video, but
that's one good thing they've added to the Mavic 4 Pro and the RC Pro 2.
Because it tracks the controller.
Yeah, dynamic home
That
point.
is true. But you're still, if you're on a sailboat, that controller is still a moving target. So you still would want to kind of say, okay, stop the boat so we can do a hand catch. Because it's still a moving target.
Same thing now. I can tell it to track my controller on the Mavic 3 because they changed that software.
Yeah, but it's just
track me.
But the problem is it's still that moving target,
It's
and you're
still
moving,
moving.
and it's just
You're landing an Osprey on an aircraft carrier, coming in from the side and hoping you catch it.
Russell, I'm just now reading back to the chat.
No.
Yeah, don't read it.
I told you don't just get a vibrator, get Mr. Softy. Mr. Softy's not going to chip a tooth.
No.
Now that's another. Mr. Softy was an ice cream van over here.
Yeah.
Well, you need to look at Mr. Softy sex toys.
That's what they call them now.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have gone up for that second round.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time for me to jump off, so we can probably
The
pack it in. I
Gimps,
reckon.
are the Gimps starting soon?
They do, but I'll just listen to them in the background. I've got a couple of things I need to attend to at this time of the morning.
Got them girls that ain't checking in yet.
Yeah.
You know that's what it is. I know you.
All right, Dominic. Later.
I got 3 girls that didn't check in. I gotta go check on them.
Yeah.
Bitch better have my money.
Better have overtime.
Ray's nearly finished. He's only got 10 minutes left.
Ray's still on.
Oh my gosh. No. Ugh.
Yeah, I want to go fly so bad right now. That sunset.
No.
But like I said, I don't want to put it up with the swallows. I'd rather wait till tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I shot a golf course, 2.5 years ago? And they had nesting swallows, and they chased me all over that course. They are territorial as hell.
Well, you know which one they chased the most? The Vada 2. The Vada 2 can be 10 feet off the ground, and they will come down to it. You know why? They look like it. They look like the Vada 2 looks like them.
I was gonna say they were chasing that Phantom 4 back in the day, and it was ungodly. I was trying to get shots, and they would just be swooping and swarming. So it turned into, because I was trying to get a certain shot of a certain location on the golf course. So I would fly away, and they would chase the drone across the golf course, and then I would race them back to the shot I was trying to get and do my move before they came in and started swooping me again.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at a Sunset Point about a year ago, and I was flying about 10 feet off the ground, and I had swallows follow me the whole trip.
Okay, Russell, is that true information? Mr. Softy sex toy invented by Paul Murray. Paul, you invented Mr. Softy?
No.
That's
I
what Russell
invented
says.
Mr. Springy. Because you got to spring it out of you in order to take a pee.
Well, that's a good.
Now is that a stretchy spring or a compression spring?
Stretchy.
Okay.
Well, Paul,
you got to pull it out, and it keeps trying to fight to go back. Gotcha.
Yes. Yep.
Paul's mind drifts for the water, wrong places. Telling you. Just saying.
I shouldn't drink and come on these shows. Or if I drink, I shouldn't go back for seconds.
I did something to this thing. It's killing me. Right in the joint. All that swollen right here. Oh, God, that hurts. I think that's a neuropathy kicking in. That's what I think it is. I can't believe I've had the willpower not to fly this drone for 2 days.
I can't either. You've never let a drone sit like that.
No, I'm sure, like I said, though, and I didn't go fly anything else. The whole bottom line is, like I said, it had to be on my insurance first. You know, because like I can't wait to see what DJI is going to say. They said they'd get back with me. When I told them, I said, you sent me a drone that I can't get care refresh with. If you knew that drone was not a drone that y'all no longer support, you should have sent me a different one.
Maybe, maybe not.
Or at least gave me, I got a year's warranty on it. That's what they said. Well, you have a year's warranty. I said, but that's not the point. The point is, I got a drone you no longer support.
Well,
you care refresh.
The drone that you had wasn't supported by Care Refresh either.
It was, but I never took it.
but this year warranty will cover that, same as Care Refresh for that year.
No,
So you're
no,
really
it's
getting
not.
you're getting your drone replaced. You're not getting anything extra, which is
Well,
kind of what you're
yeah,
asking for.
the only thing the warranty is going to replace is if there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, the warranty only does it if it's a fault. It won't do it for a crash.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So fly it responsibly. I've bought Care Refresh on every drone that I've owned, but I've never used it.
I've only used Care Refresh once.
Yeah,
And that was when the Avata decided to go. The Avata went home, returned home underneath a tree, and looked like a Palinko machine.
That sounds a lot like what happened to you before. Maybe you just don't know how to use the drone.
I've used it once.
Suddenly it attacked you and flew into your arms. I'm thinking, Joe, that maybe you're having issues.
No, I was making a bank, turned it around. I lost the signal, so I stopped. And when the signal came back, I could see green. I knew I was somewhere, and I lost the signal. And I said, "Well, it's coming home."
To tell you the truth, I've only lost signal. I lost signal on the Phantom 4 once. Actually, I lost telemetry. I still had control. And since I always fly VFR, I was able to fly it back. Yeah. And I actually lost everything on my Mini one time, and it did the return to home perfectly beautiful.
Yeah, but like I said, I lost it with
exactly what it's supposed to.
Yeah, the Mavic 3 about 2 months ago lost complete signal by the river.
Is there anything? Is there any more gut draining than losing all contact with your drone? It's out there somewhere and you can't touch it. You can't do anything with it. It's
yeah,
you just have to.
I'm just trying to figure out where you got those initials from. You always fly VFR. What the fuck's VFR?
No, visual flight rules. Sorry.
Visual line of sight.
I guess I should say visual line of sight, but visual flight rules is a term that if you are flying, when you take your Part 107, VFR is a type of flight that you're flying. Basically, you're keeping an eye out for other aircraft, and it is visual flight rules.
Okay.
But VLOS is more used in the drone community, so I should have used that. But I've been drinking.
You've only had one. That's not an excuse.
Actually, I've had 2 of these full. Well, with ice, so say half full.
Okay, let you.
Now, do you guys not? What do you have your Part 107 or whatever your equivalent is in England?
No.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you guys have the visual flight VFR type acronym there.
I'm going to show you guys my video.
I mean, we do a trust test to get a flyer's ID.
I have my trust as well. Here, I've got a trust test and I've got my Part 107.
But you don't actually need that unless you're flying something over 250 grams.
Gotcha.
I
don't think I've never flown anything sub 250. Even my Mini, when I flew at sub 250, I was usually flying with a strobe on it, so it put me over.
Yeah.
Just because I like the strobe on the Mini just to increase my ability to see it.
Yeah.
And so it would increase my visual line of sight.
I mean,
so I don't think I've ever flown anything sub 250, technically.
We do have
go back to the beginning.
Different qualifications you can get. I mean, the A2 CFC.
Is that the beginning right there where you're approaching?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that's where I saw the drone. Because I saw the drone on the picture.
Yeah, that's not as close as you described it. Much closer. So.
Yeah, I thought it was closer than that.
Look at those two big antennas up on top. Paul, did you get any interference off those? Oh, there's another back there.
Right there, those are the things that screw me up usually.
Yeah, those big antennas. There's
Yeah.
a big arrays inside those balls. I was
Yeah.
wondering if you got any interference off this today.
No, I didn't. But I lost one right over there when a cruise ship went by. Was it last year?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah. Because you had it on hover.
I'm thinking that ship is empty, Paul.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many people on it.
I think they are running empty.
It's
Wherever they're
cold,
going, I
though,
think they're
too.
running
It's 40
empty.
it's 45 degrees.
I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
Because I don't. You would think even with it being
Oh, there's
cloudy,
somebody in the
you would-
windows right there.
Yeah, but even if empty, you would have somebody out on the deck.
Oh, why are you looking at people's windows?
So
There's somebody on the deck there.
Oh, one person. If they have passengers, they're running very, very light, if not empty.
Oh yeah, very light.
It's evening.
I think they're running empty.
That bird.
They're all in the restaurant. It's evening
See-
meal time.
That shot right there, I think, is the beauty shot with the bridge. I think that just a
There's somebody
tracking
sitting
shot.
right there.
I think just a tracking shot back on the ship, tracking the ship, and having the bridge reveal. I think that's a
There's
beauty
somebody
shot right
there.
there. Yeah. There's somebody. Yeah, I think if they were full, they would have more people outside, regardless of the clouds. If
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
raining.
If it were warmer, I can't imagine why you'd pay that kind of money to go cruising a ship that's 40 degrees out.
Yeah, they're running close to empty. A nice looking ship. My wife and I want to take a cruise sometime soon. My wife has been talking about a cruise we've never been on one. She's been talking about going on a cruise for the last few years, and I think we're going to have to go on one. Maybe next year.
Yeah, but what would you do? Would you do a Bahamas type cruise, Caribbean, or would you do a European one?
Okay. That would be a conversation, wouldn't it? There are some wonderful Alaskan cruises. That would be
Mhm.
nice to go on. They usually set out of like Seattle. And those will be some nice ones. Personally, I would love to take a European one. But my wife is probably going to be aiming towards the Bahamas.
Yeah.
She wants to be a Bahama mama.
And those are three completely different experiences.
Yeah.
And so
Looks like you're going to be having 3 cruises then?
if I had to choose between an Alaskan cruise and a European cruise, I'd go with European. If I had to choose between those two.
Just because it's such a different culture.
Yeah, and European cruises, you get more of a variety of landscape as you go through. Whereas
Yeah.
Alaskan cruise, it's all about the
Ice.
glaciers. It's all about the glaciers.
Yeah.
What I would really love to do someday, and this is a someday trip, is a train excursion through Europe.
Yeah,
That
that's quite interesting. Yeah.
I would like to do that if it came down to figuring out my dream trip. But my dream trip kind of takes a second vote to my wife's dream trip. I'd rather her be happy than me.
Something like the Orient Express.
Orient Express doesn't really interest me.
No.
There are some train trips that in Europe that cover, oh my gosh, the amount of landscape that they cover. Just amazing. What would be even better than that? I would really like to do a canal boat tour through England.
The only trouble with that is you're doing like 4 miles an hour, so you don't go very far.
I'm sorry, I'm not there for speed.
Yeah, I know.
I love the idea of those canal boats.
Yeah, but you don't. What I mean is, in 2 weeks at 4 miles an hour, you've not travelled very far.
True.
Yep.
So you don't get to see much.
True. I wouldn't see the variety of landscape
Some
as
of
I
us-
would as say
some of
as
us
a
get to see is good, but yeah,
I would see a lot more landscape on a cruise ship or a train ride. That is guaranteed. But if you're going to take a canal boat, you're not there for the different landscapes. You're there for the experience of riding a canal boat through England.
no, it's fair.
We used to have a ton of canals in America, but they all disappeared, and we let them disappear.
Hey Don, I never talked to anybody that's ridden on, one of those trains that have the great big bubble top where you can sit up there and look all around.
Yeah, I've ridden on a couple.
Have you? Is it as nice as it appears to be?
No, depends on what time of year you go.
Oh, okay.
You better make sure they have good air conditioning, or you better be going in winter. If you go on one of those tours and they have the bubble,
Yep.
it is a greenhouse, and you will bake
hot
if they don't have good airflow.
Yeah, because I've never known anybody that's ever taken that trip, and I just wondered what the deal was.
Yeah, I've been on a couple, and one, it was miserable until we came through a tunnel, and on the other side of the mountain where the tunnel went through, there was a storm system on the other side of the mountain, and so we came out, and it was raining, and everything cooled off. It was wonderful at that point. But before that tunnel, it was just hot, and we were baking.
Okay.
The other time I was on a train like that, it was winter time, and it was fine in winter because it was cool enough, and actually the warm was kind of nice.
That cruise ship coming up the river, people were driving by on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to point to the ship, whatever. They just down the road.
Yeah.
They were thinking, look at this crazy old man waving at us.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, so what? But yeah. That's it.
I was trying to point it out to them, And they just go right on down the road, not even look. And if they did look, they turned away real fast and didn't continue looking. Probably because they were afraid that I was going to be robbing them or something. I don't know.
Because they were driving and had to concentrate on the road.
Yeah, they were thinking Paul was crazy.
Mark, have you ever spent any time on a canal boat?
No, I have never been on a canal boat. I've been on a river boat in the Norfolk Broads, but I've never been on a canal boat. But we have got quite a few canal boats parked up in Droylsden Marina just across the road.
That is what really, people talk about going over to England and visiting different sites, but the canals are what really captured my imagination, that you guys kept your canals. Whereas, like I said, the US, we had canals back in the day. We had canals all over, and once trains came into vogue, we let our canals die.
We have filled in some of them.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be somebody that was on YouTube. What was her name? Canal Girl, or
there are lots of YouTube channels.
There's quite a few canal boat YouTube channels.
Boat Girl, yeah, okay.
And that's the thing. the U.S. we had in the East we had a ton of canals. We had a ton of them, and if we had kept them, it would have been a cultural touchstone, I think now. But we got rid of them because of trains, and trains were far more efficient, and so the canals died.
Okay.
But England kept their canals, and I just love the idea of that.
One of
That's
the
the same thing like here in New Orleans area. The New Basin Canal went from Canal Street all the way out to the Lake Pontchartrain. And it's
Yeah.
real wide. Now it's a big neutral ground that is sitting there, all wide open space for people with trees. And when Katrina hit, they used that one. That was the only area in the city they could bring all the trash to safely. So they brought it's like a 2-mile stretch, and the trash was like 25 feet high, the whole thing.
Now the canals down in New Orleans, though, they serve a dual function. It's not just shipping; it is also drainage. Correct?
Yeah, right. But before that was all shipping.
And so
New Basin Canal, when they show the old pictures back in the early 1900s, you got boats all alongside it coming in. Bayou St. John, that goes right through the middle of the city, tied right into the New Basin Canal that went straight out.
see, that's what I like about San Antonio is the Riverwalk. People don't realize Riverwalk was a functional canal. It was functional for a reason. It moved freight, and I just like those little pieces of history that remain, but we let so much of it disappear. And the Riverwalk down in San Antonio, that little bit of the river, that was just a partial bit of what was there. They let a lot of it go away.
one of the girls I worked with.
I guess I'm like maybe not a history nerd, but what would it be? I like the leftovers of history. I like the things that still exist that give you a peek into it.
Probably this whole area around New Orleans and all the way to like where Hammond's at to Slidell. I don't think you could go more than a maybe at max a mile without running into a stream, a bayou, a river, or some kind of waterway. It's everything you do is water. I was doing that last year, just going with the Avada 2 and finding all the little streams that I haven't, just stopping and flying them. I must have flown about 30 of them last year.
You see, if I lived down there, I would probably own. I've got a couple inflatable kayaks here, but I'd probably own a hard shell kayak or something so I could just get out and paddle them.
I've wanted to do that, but I can't do it with the mobility I have with the knees.
Yeah.
If I had
my shoulder is going. I've gotten where I can't. If I cannot reach over my head and actually pull down anymore, my shoulder will kill me.
I would definitely have one. I've wanted one. I almost bought one a couple of years ago. I have the rack on top of the car. I could have stuck. I had the exterior. It would have been perfect. You know? But my issue was.
I've got that little inflatable here, and I've thought about taking it down. There is a park. Well, a park. There's a place in a river. It's a wide spot in a river around here that used to be a stop on a trolley line. And in its heyday, there was a 4th of July where they sold more tickets to this park than Disney World sells every day now. Because there was nothing to do, and it was a 4th of July event, and all of the local places were on that trolley line, and they all came into this one location where this event was going on. And now there is nothing there. It's a wide spot in the river. And I would like to kayak down to that wide spot and take a look around and see what I can find.
Yeah. Well, my dream is if I didn't have the dogs, and even with the dogs, that would be probably okay. But if I had the money where I didn't have to worry about anything, and I could get down to just basics of what I have to have for me, I would buy a very nice one of those expensive houseboats, a really good one. And I would, on the Chifunta River, right there by Madisonville, there all these places you could rent a slip. I'd put my slip right there on the river. I'd get me a little small boat I can get in and just go around on, and I would be right there.
Do like a little small, like a little John boat with a trolling motor.
Yeah, probably a little bit bigger than that. You know, at least a 14 or 16.
Okay.
Something, yeah, something. I wouldn't need a bass boat, but it'd have to be something I could just go up and go to the backside of the river and fish for bass or something. You know, but
A little John boat would take care of you, but
yeah, it would. It would. But I mean, that would be my dream if I wasn't working, if I wasn't worried about shooting pictures all the time and all of that. And then I could have it gated off in the back where the dogs couldn't get off into the water. And then I could just go sit out there with them and they could be out there and all the girls see the dogs and want to come visit the dogs, you know.
okay. And we turned it into pervertedness.
Old man with
it's
dogs.
gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen.
That's
we talked
Mr.
to
Joe with the
long
dogs.
enough.
Let's go see him, you know.
We talked to
Hey,
Joe
come see
long
my
enough.
dog.
It's
Come
going
pet
to
my
turn
dog,
into a pervert statement. We know it's
No,
going to happen. We
I
just
enjoy
don't.
it. I put a
We don't know
landing
how
pad
long
on my
it's gonna
deck and
take.
fly off my deck, you know. But that would be pretty
Shit.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you were living on the water, the odds are not in your favor for keeping your drone very long. Because the more you fly close to water, the more something can happen.
Well, Paul, 99% of my flights are over water.
I fly over water all the time. Water
I do
is no
too,
different
but-
than flying over land.
I do too, but I've lost 2 drones on the water.
Yeah, and at least one time you were flying sideways and you had no idea which side of the river you were on.
And you hit the wires.
No, I didn't.
That was another time.
That was another time.
Yeah, you recovered that drone.
Yep.
Sure, but Paul, I'm just telling you.
Well, you know, the first
you
time
fly differently than I fly.
The first time, Don, was when I was flying around a cruise ship. And
in the fog.
Well, no, but I was down along the side of it, and I was on the American side, and the drone was on the Canadian side.
And
all of a sudden
you were not looking at it through the controller. You were looking at it with your eyeballs. You could see it with your eyeballs.
Yep.
Okay.
And I lost signal
because you flew right in front of the ship, and we're pretty sure that those antenna arrays got to you.
Well, the thing of it is that it hovered. It didn't return to home.
Because you had it on hover. You didn't have it on return to home. You said that you did not put them on return to home because you're afraid of hitting the bridge.
Paul, I've been watching your channel
Paul.
for years. I've been watching your channel for a long time.
Because we told you go back and change them.
The one where I hit the wires, though, was when the ice was on the Black River, and I was flying over the ice floes, hit it, and when it came down, it landed on its top, so I couldn't take it off.
Yeah, yes, you do have more dangers when you're flying in that type of situation. But if you take care to account for those dangers.
No.
Well, if I look at all the thousands of ships I got, and I've only had lost 2 drones.
That is true. You've flown a lot. You have flown a lot. No one can deny that.
Yeah, your percentages, the 2 times that you did, like I said, the hovering was one. And then when you hit those wires, you didn't realize the wires were there. You probably backed into it because you weren't looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sideways into them.
Yeah, I am not going to deny your percentages, Paul.
Well, it's like I tell everybody, it gets the old man out of the house, you know?
Yeah, I almost backed into wires one time over a highway that's closed because I didn't even think they had wires there. And I'm trying to line up a shot, just like Jackie did on Jackie's just recently. She was backing up to line up a shot and hit some wires.
The closest I ever came to wires was at a college. I was shooting some footage at a college, and they had a pond there, and it was total negligence on my part. I did not walk the perimeter. Every other place I usually walk, I know where I'm going to fly, and I make sure I walk where I'm going to fly. And this time I did not. And there was some short wires coming across the pond, and I came close.
Hey, Joe, who was it that was flying FPV back and forth through the bridge and almost lost it?
That was me.
Yeah, it was Joe. Because he
that
lost
was-
signal, and it looked like, he wasn't in control of flying back and forth in
I
the
had no
bridge.
choice on it.
It was
control
just
on the
going crazy.
Yeah, It went crazy. It looked like I was the best FPV flyer in the world.
It was like,
Yeah, 'cause you
man,
recovered it. You recovered
he
it.
hit every damn gap that bridge had.
Yeah, he got every gap it could, bounced off of the bridge twice, went back through a gap and went, and I'm sitting there looking at it saying, shit, 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 shit. And I can't do nothing because it's not responding to me, right? And then it comes through the gap, and when all I saw was daylight, I hit forward and it took off. And I brought that sucker right back. That's when the sensors were giving me problems on the bottom.
Yeah, you were lucky to get that back after that.
Yeah, that was this one scary little flight.
That was a scary one to watch, and the fact that you got it back without crashing it was pretty impressive. But yeah, that was one where you were just going along the bridge and drifted out this side and drifted in and over and
went in and out over the top, then came back around over the top and then bounced off on it, came up and shot right back through. When it shot right back through, I said, daylight, forward, 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 forward.
the second you get signal, you get that thing in the air and you get it out of the.
That's what I did. I brought it straight back to me.
Yes, you
Like
did.
I said, I've only lost signal a couple times.
You see, and right before that, I was flying the Mavic 3, and I got up to about 100 feet, and I looked up, and I seen 2 Osprey. And then I looked up, I had 6 Osprey flying above me, coming down, getting lower. So I brought it down to about 50 feet, kept doing my shots, got my video, and I was watching the Osprey more than I was watching the drone. I know where the drone was, and I was watching these Osprey, and I'm looking where the drone's at, did my flights, and you could see in the flights, the shadows of the Ospreys just passing.
Yep.
Like this. And I said,
they were
this one
tracking
down.
you. Yep.
I said, let me get lower to the ground. I got lower to the ground and almost lost it anyway. So that was a day I could have lost 2 drones.
Yep.
But in all the times I've flown 700 and something times, hit the pole, pilot error. Because I didn't realize that pole was there. That was my fault for not having that awareness.
Yeah.
Did you hit a pole?
Yeah, you know that. And then
I haven't heard this
2 days
story,
later,
Joe. Can you tell me
2
that
days
story?
later, when Avada got caught up in the tree, that was pilot error in one regard. Of when I knew I was losing signal, I should have just turned around where I was and came right back. But I said, well, I got returned to home. Let me bank it and bring it down the street. When I banked it,
I would say
I had just enough right there to lose signal. And that's where it went straight under a tree. That's where it lost signal, under a tree that I didn't even know was there. I just happened to see, when I lost it, I could see green, just green. So I knew I was somewhere where, I knew I was right. I knew where I was. So then it doesn't come back. And I'm sitting there and I'm not getting the signal back. So I'm saying, well, it's not picking up the signal again. Because when it comes back 50 feet and starts picking up the signal, and it'll let you know, you'll see everything again. And when I saw that happen, it didn't come back. I said, okay. After 5 minutes, I turned it off and I went there and found it laying underneath the tree. That's when the props were bent. And that's when I thought I fixed it. Remember, Jonathan told me, send it back. It's tried to start on my desk. And I went outside and said, no, that's good. I bent everything back. It started, it flipped over my head, hit the building and broke it in about 3 pieces. That's when I set that one back. And I said, okay, it was bad. And the only other time, the Mavic 3, I was 7,000 feet away by the train bridge. When the train was coming, as I started doing the yaw back to me, I lost my signal. I didn't have a visual, but my telemetry was still showing me coming back towards me, maintaining the height. So I said, the sucker's still coming. I just don't have visual. So I didn't panic. I said, just keep doing what I'm doing. And I was watching the telemetry and looking at waiting for the picture to come back.
Telemetry. If I don't have visual, I don't trust the telemetry.
Well, the telemetry, I'm saying, I know I'm not going lower. I know I'm coming back. And at 56 seconds later, all of a sudden I got visual back and I was doing exactly what I was wanting to do. So I didn't, and when I went back and looked at the footage, it was exactly, that's the Mavic 3. I trusted it. When I lost the Mavic 3 footage with Johnny about a month and a half ago, when I lost it, I went, damn. He goes, what? I said, lost signal, lost contact. He said, did you lose it? I said, no, it's coming back. I said, I'm high enough where there's nothing around me. Like this, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, it took about maybe 8 seconds. It went, returning to home, like this. But I still don't have anything. So I said, it's coming back. So I'm sitting there and I'm hearing it going click, 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 click. And I'm sitting there watching the screen. He says, you sure you're okay? I said, yeah, I'm at 180 feet. The trees around here about 60 feet. I'm plenty enough. So I'm sitting there and 57 seconds. 57 seconds. All of a sudden, I get the visual back and it's still returning home. So I just let it come back almost to me and took control. But that was the first time trees ever affected me. And I was high enough where it shouldn't have. So I'm wondering if something was going bad on the Mavic 3.
Maybe. I've had trees affect me on it was on the Phantom 4 at a golf course. And there was a lot of trees, but usually I never had much interference with trees. So having that Mavic 3 have issues, and it had a better transmission system than the Phantom 4. Maybe something was going bad.
Well, you know where I have more transmission problems? If I have the goggles on and I sit under that tailgate in the back, it'll tell me I'm having goggle interference. So I got to move it out about a foot. If I'm under there with the controller and I'm sitting there, it'll do me the same thing. That tailgate will see that. There you go. That tailgate will interfere with the signal. Did it interfere with the drone and make it come to me?
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't getting signal interference. It doesn't do it all the time with the controller, but with the goggles, I can't be under that tailgate with the goggles. I got to be at least a foot away from the car, or the car will give me interference. So it's like, see, the flight I shot the other day when I went and shot that picture out at the park. We had 11 to 24 mile an hour winds, and I guarantee it was steady at about 15, 16. That's how bad the trees were doing this. And I told John, I said, man, the playground has no kids in it, and I can't fly it because it's so windy. Because I'm not going to go through all these little gaps at 12, 15 mile an hour winds. And I said, oh, hell with it, I'm sending it because it's not going to hurt it.
Right.
If I hit it, I'm just going to clip something. So I went all up in there. I had a duck underneath one of those places drinking water. Every time I went under there, he'd look up at me and everything. And I brought it all the way back to my head. No interference problems at all. But you can see the wind. I mean, I couldn't go through the little small gaps because I didn't trust it. Because every time I looked like I was going out, they had high wind warning the whole flight. But I was thinking, I don't need to damage another drone right now. But I'm telling you, by Saturday, I might be pulling that trigger on that Air 3S.
I think by Saturday. Okay. Wait, you're flying. What are you flying now? The Air 2S?
Air 2S.
I wouldn't say it's worth the upgrade from the Air 2S.
I think just because of the LiDAR.
But maybe if you could sell your Air 2S and get a good price for it. But like I said, I waited forever to upgrade, and when I finally upgraded it's amazing. I love that drone.
The Air 2S, I've got 25 flights on it. That's it. Because that was the one that I sent back, the one I bought from Robbie Gray. That the gimbal was giving me problems. So they sent me back a Care Refresh one. And it was it cost me $109 to upgrade to a new one. So I've got one that had no flights on it, and I've got a total of 25 on it right now. 3 good batteries. I just don't know what I could get for that right now. I don't think I can get more than about 700, maybe 800 if I push it, you know.
Well, I think I'm going to call it, guys.
Yeah.
Because we're down to 3 people watching.
Got more on a panel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody said anything in the panel for the last 10 minutes. Okay, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the morning. Joe, are you going to be there?
I should be for a few minutes. I'm going to fly with Johnny.
All right. We'll see you, Don. Bye,
Later, Don.
everybody. I think Mark passed out or something. But
yeah. Adios.